Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. Fantasy. Invincible. Start from the Prodigal. Chapter 21. Look, even if the little junior brother is unparalleled in talent, after knowing our identity, he has not been stunned. This little junior brother is so cute. As a second senior sister, I must protect him in the future. I'm finally not the youngest, and I will have a younger brother who can bully in the future. Seeing Yi Feng, who didn't speak for a long time, Wu Tianjiao also had his own thoughts. Senior brothers and sisters, this is the first time we meet. This is a little thought from the younger brother. However, when 5 interspatial rings appeared in Yi Feng's hands and put them into their hands, especially when he saw the 100,000 top-grade spirit stones inside, Wu Tianjiao was instantly stunned. These brothers and sisters have not given gifts to the younger brothers, but they have received gifts from the younger brothers, and they are 100,000 top-grade spirit stones. These spirit stones are a huge sum of money for them. Rich. Very rich. Very rich. At this moment, what Luo Wuming said before, could not help but resound from Wu Tianjiao's mind. Ding! Congrats to the host who has succeeded in losing his family. He has obtained 200 Prodigal points and obtained the Epiphany Pill 100. What? Hearing the system's reminder, Yi Feng's eyes suddenly lit up. He didn't expect that he would be able to get special rewards for his prodigal behavior. Epiphany Pill. No grade, any creature who swallows it can immediately enter the realm of Epiphany. It lasts for 20 minutes and cannot be used to obtain Prodigal points. It seems that I can't use these Epiphany Pills to lose my family. Thinking of this, Yi Feng directly took out 5 Epiphany Pills and distributed them to the brothers and sisters in front of them. Little junior brother, what is this? Chen Haoyu asked curiously while looking at the medicine pill in his hands. Ephemeral pill, as long as you eat it, you can immediately enter the state of enlightenment. It lasts for 20 minutes. You should try it now. Yi Feng looked at the 5 and explained with a smile. Epiphany Dan. If you swallow it, you can immediately enter the realm of Epiphany. Is there such a medicine pill in the world? To be honest, Wu Tianjiao didn't really believe in the efficacy of what Yi Feng said, and the Epiphany was about chance. Even in the Heavenly Dao battlefield, such a heaven-defying medicine pill had never appeared. However, after Wu Tianjiao glanced at each other, he swallowed the Epiphany pill. At least they believed that Yi Feng would never harm them. Boom, boom, boom. Just after swallowing the Epiphany Pill, the expressions of the 5 people suddenly changed, and then all the lotus position sat on the ground and cultivated with their eyes closed. What? You are here. At this time, Luo Wuming walked in from outside the door and saw the 5 people sitting at lotus position. They were just about to say something in confusion, but they were stopped by Yi Feng putting his finger to his mouth. Yi Feng, they are some of your brothers and sisters, but why did you cultivate at this time? When Yi Feng took Luo Wuming out of the residence, Luo Wuming asked in confusion. I gave them an Epiphany Pill, they just entered the realm of Epiphany. Master, don't ruin their chances. Yi Feng checked that the 5 brothers and sisters inside were not affected, and then looked at Luo Wuming and explained it. And such medicine pill. Yi Feng, can you give me a few coins? Even if the efficacy of Epiphany Pill is beyond Luo Wuming's cognition, he believes it, because Yi Feng said it. Master, I'll give you 5, and I have to go back and feed the rest to my dog. After Yi Feng took out 5 Epiphany Pills and handed them to Luo Wuming, the next sentence made Luo Wuming tremble violently. Epiphany Dan. The Epiphany Pill that can immediately enter the realm of Epiphany, you actually want to give it to that dog? You are crazy. Luo Wuming stared at Yi Feng with blood-red eyes. He didn't know what to say. A prodigal wouldn't bring such a prodigal. Seeing his blood-red eyes staring at own Luo Wuming, Yi Feng didn't react. Although he also knows that this Epiphany Pill is very fierce, but he wants to become a prodigal existence. Even if he can't use the Epiphany Pill to get the prodigal point, the prodigal family must be prosperous. This habit cannot be broken. The most important thing is that Yi Feng knows that he can also get special rewards for his prodigal behavior. After that, there is no shortage of good things at all. Do they keep them all? Yi Feng, can you negotiate? How many Epiphany Pills do you have in your hand? No matter what the cost, I bought them all on behalf of sect. Taking a deep breath, Luo Wuming directly proposed a deal. He absolutely couldn't watch such a terrifying Epiphany Dan feed the dog. It would be more uncomfortable than killing him. No. After Yifeng heard it, he refused directly without hesitation. Fine. Knowing that the persuasion was fruitless, Luo Wuming also gave up, but he still felt uncomfortable. Let's go. The 5 great ancestors want to see you, and may even want to accept you as a disciple. As for how to decide, I will not influence your thoughts. Saying that, Luo Wuming took Yifeng to the sky and flew towards the back mountain of Sect at high speed. Back mountain, in front of closed-door training immortal cave. The 5 crane-haired and childlike old men had been waiting for a long time, and when they saw Luo Wuming and Yifeng flying in the air, there was a look of anticipation in their eyes. One person fights more than 200 fellow realm disciples. With 4 spiritual roots. Comprehend 3 top-grade martial skills. Spiritual roots, talent, comprehension, etc., all overwhelm their peers. Such a monster-level genius, they naturally want to accept them as disciples and do their best to cultivate them. 5 great ancestors, this is Yifeng, the first disciple who was passed down by the little girl. After slowly falling to the ground, just after Luo Wuming finished speaking, the 5 ancestors came directly to Yifeng's side, stretched out his hand and released divine sense to investigate. Aerodynamic environment 9th stage pinnacle. What a terrifying ocean of spirits. No spiritual roots. No spiritual roots. When the 5 ancestors were shocked by the terrifying spiritual sea in Yifeng's body, they discovered a situation that shocked them, that is, there are no spiritual roots in Yifeng's body. What about the 4 spiritual roots? Yifeng, why don't you have spiritual roots in your body? Without spiritual roots, how did you perceive the spiritual qi of the heaven and earth, so as to open up the spiritual sea for cultivation? The great ancestor Luo Tianxing asked Yifeng with a puzzled look. I don't know. When I want to make a breakthrough, the surrounding world's spiritual qi will automatically drill into my body, and then I will make a breakthrough. Although I don't have spiritual roots, I don't know why, the spiritual qi in my body can be converted into spirit power of various attributes. Speaking of this, Yifeng stretched out his hand, and a spiritual qi gathered on his right hand. Different attributes such as thunder spirit power, fire spirit power, water spirit power, wind spirit power, etc. began to change continuously, directly making the 5 ancestors look silly. The same spiritual qi is constantly transformed into spiritual qi of various attributes. They have never heard of such a strange situation in their life. System, these are the 5 ancestors of the sect. Whether it is strength or identity, I am a sect core discipline, and I will give each of them 1 million top-grade spirit stones. There is nothing wrong with it. Yifeng didn't have time to pay attention to all the 5 foolish ancestors at this time. As a prodigal hero, he naturally had to seize every opportunity of a prodigal family. Ding! The number is too small, it is not within the scope of the prodigal family, the host, the layout is small. Forehead. Yifeng thought there would be no problem, but who would have thought that he would be mocked by the system? 1 million premium spirit stones. Yifeng directly raised the level of spirit stones this time. You must know that 1 million top-quality spirit stones are equivalent to 100 million top-quality spirit stones. Ding! The number is within the range of the prodigal family. Hiss. Yifeng also boldly mentioned it, but he didn't expect it to happen at all. Looking at the 5 ancestors again, his eyes have also changed. He is sure that the 5 ancestors in front of him are definitely not simple. The 5 ancestors, the disciples came too hastily and didn't prepare anything. These $1 million top-quality spirit stones also hope that the 5 ancestors will not dislike it. Saying that, Yifeng took out 5 interspatial rings, each containing 1 million top-quality spirit stones, and stuffed them into the hands of the 5 ancestors. Question mark, question mark, question mark. What's the situation? The 5 ancestors looked at the interspatial ring in their hands and couldn't believe their own ears. 1 million per person, that is 5 million, and it is still the best spirit stones. Is this a wealth that only a peak disciple of the 9th stage can have? Gudong. Luo Wuming, who was on the side, swallowed his saliva involuntarily, his eyes looking at Yifeng were also full of shock. This is the best spirit stones. If you come up and give away 5 million pieces, how many spirit stones do you still have on your body? It is no exaggeration to say that Luo Wuming is the sect leader of the Xingji sect, and the number of top-quality spirit stones that he can use is definitely not more than 10 million. Who would have thought that Yifeng would give out 5 million easily, and Luo Wuming became more and more convinced that Yifeng was the god of wealth who was given to the Xingji sect by God. 5 old men, haven't you been stuck in the bottleneck for decades? There are 5 epiphany pills here, don't ask anything, just swallow them and you will immediately enter the state of epiphany. Seeing all the 5 stunned ancestors, Luo Wuming directly took out the 5 epiphany pills that Yifeng gave him. Epiphany Dan. I had never heard of it, but the 5 great ancestors trusted Luo Wuming very much. He swallowed the epiphany pill without asking any further questions. Boom, 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 one after another, the breath of enlightenment emerged from the 5 people. Seeing that the 5 ancestors immediately sat in lotus position, closed their eyes and cultivated, Luo Wuming took Yifeng to the side and waited quietly. 20 minutes later, after the 5 great ancestors had an epiphany, they all opened their eyes, and their eyes were full of unbelievable expressions. They couldn't understand how a medicine pill could make people instantly enter the realm of epiphany. Luo Wuming, where did you get this epiphany pill, and how many more? After Luo Tianxing got up, he directly asked Luo Wuming. This kid gave it to me. He should have a lot of it, but he is going to take it back to feed the dog. Luo Wuming pointed at Yifeng next to him, and sold Yifeng with a smirk. Master, it's too much. Yifeng looked at Luo Wuming with a black face and said. It's too much, you don't have to give it, but you want to feed the dog with such a terrifying epiphany Dan, I can't bear it at all. Forehead. Looking at Luo Wuming, who was full of anger, Yifeng also smiled bitterly. The habit of a prodigal cannot be lost, he is a prodigal hero. What? Take it to the dog. When the 5 ancestors on the side heard this, their shocked eyes almost popped out, and the last scrutiny eyes fell on Yifeng. Yifeng, we won't oppress you based on your seniority and identity. The epiphany pill is yours. You can give it to anyone you want. This is understandable, but you can't use it to feed the dog. Do you know how precious this epiphany pill is? In only 20 minutes, the 5 ancestors felt that the bottleneck was a little loose. If there were a few more epiphany pills, they could reach a new height. I still have 90 epiphany pills left in my hand. Otherwise, I will take out 50 to feed the dog, and keep the remaining 40. This is the head office. Looking at Wu Dazu's eyes that wanted to eat people, Yifeng felt that it was indeed a little wasteful to take 90 epiphany pills to eat for the little yellow dog, so he simply made a compromise decision. Call, call, call. Hearing Yifeng's words, the old-fashioned breathing of the 5 great ancestors became rapid, and after a long time of emotional persuasion, you still need to feed the dog with epiphany Dan. Luo Wuming, as a sect leader, your disciples are so prosperous, you don't know how to take care of them. It is not good to continue to lose his temper with Yifeng. Luo Tianxing directly vented all his anger on Luo Wuming who was watching the play. Luo Wuming didn't expect the anger of the 5 great ancestors to burn on own, and explained with a wry smile, Great ancestor, this kid is a prodigal, the legendary 9-leaf soul rejuvenation grass is used to soak his feet, powerful the Yellow Spring sword and 10 shards from the Yellow Spring sword were given to a dog, and the most important thing is that he owns those good things, he is determined to lose his family, what can I do? When the 5 ancestors heard this, they were all dumbfounded. 9-leaf soul returning grass, even the legendary spiritual herbs that they wanted to get when they entered the Heavenly Tao battlefield, the other party not only has it, but even took it to soak their feet. The Yellow Spring sword and tent fragment was given to a dog. Senseless. The 5 ancestors looked at Yifeng, who was harmless to humans and animals, and was shocked that he couldn't say a word, such a proper prodigal. Isn't this the fantasy world? Aren't the people in this sect too good? They're all like this, and they're not going to take me by force. At this time, Yifeng was also amazed. According to the plots he had read in the previous life, shouldn't he have taken out so many treasures that made them jealous immediately? Think back. Luo Chenshui, who promised not to give any guidance or any cultivation resources, did not go out with Leng Wufang to buy pill-refining spiritual herbs, but also bought her own 2 Qingshan pills. The white old man who smiles all day long. There is no such arrogant and domineering person among the many inner outer sect disciples of the Xingji sect. Treat yourself very kind teacher. 5 brothers and sisters who are extremely friendly to themselves. Even the 5 ancestral elders in front of him are looking extremely good at the moment. To be honest, Yi Feng felt really comfortable staying in such a sect, and there was no intrigue at all. In that case, I'll be a prodigal in the comfort of sect. Thinking of this, Yi Feng also knows that if he wants to be comfortable, he must take out some things. Yi Feng, can we discuss it? It's really a waste to feed such a precious epiphany Dan to a dog, even if you keep it in your hands. After a while, Luo Tianxing also looked at Yi Feng with a wry smile and disgusted, and did not use the identity of the ancestor to suppress Yi Feng at all. To oppress your fellow students is to violate the teachings of our ancestors. Several ancestral teachings that have been passed down have played an extremely crucial role in the development of the Xingji sect to this day. Old ancestor, these are 70 epiphany pills, which I voluntarily hand over to sect. But I have to keep the remaining 20 for my dog, and I hope that the 5 ancestors will not discourage them. Yi Feng then took out the interspatial ring containing 70 epiphany pills and put it in Luo Tianxing's hand. Since he wanted to be a prodigal in sect comfortably, the stronger sect was, the better, and he didn't mind taking out some good things and handing them over to sect. Good, good, good. Luo Tianxing carefully put away the interspatial ring with 70 epiphany pills. He couldn't help but shouted 3 times. He looked at Yi Feng again and liked it more and more. Sect can have a disciple like Yi Feng, it is simply sect good luck. Luo Wuming, it should be clear how much Yi Feng contributed to sect. As long as Yi Feng doesn't violate Zhu Xuan, he can do whatever he wants in the sect. Even, except for the 5 of us old guys, even you are not qualified to punish Yi Feng, understand? Luo Tianxing looked at Luo Wuming with a serious face and said loudly. Anonymous understands, Luo Wuming hurriedly said after hearing it, and at the same time secretly said in his heart, this is the god of wealth that I believe, even if you don't say it, I have to offer him up. Pong. At this moment, a strange sound suddenly sounded from Yi Feng's side, and the eyes of the 5 ancestors and Luo Wuming were involuntarily attracted to the past. Golden silkworm star shining stone. When everyone saw the dazzling gold mine under Yi Feng's feet, they all widened their eyes and exclaimed, and even their breathing became rapid. Broken stone, just a broken stone. Seeing the horrified expressions on everyone's faces, Yi Feng secretly smiled and picked up the fist-sized golden silkworm star, and put it directly into the system space. Epiphany Dan has it for you. But I still have to let you know that I have good things. As a prodigal, how can I do without something that makes others envious? This stinky boy really has a golden silkworm star in his hand. You 3 really guessed right. Luo Wuming also smiled bitterly at this time. When he was in the Star Soul sect before, Luo Chenshui had spoken to him, and he still said in a very affirmative tone, since Yi Feng dared to say the golden silkworm star shining stone, his hand absolutely there. Later, he also asked Bai Tianong and Sha Shayu, and the 2 confirmed that Yi Feng had indeed said it, and they both believed that Yi Feng definitely had it in his hands. Yi Feng, then, can the golden silkworm star shining stone? Because of his excitement, the 5th ancestor, Chu Yunshan, looked at Yi Feng with trembling all over, thinking that no matter what the price was, he only hoped that Yi Feng would sell him the golden silkworm Xingyao stone. After all, as a refiner, golden silkworm Xingyao stone is definitely one of the refining spirit minerals that every refining master wants to get. No, I don't have much of this stuff right now, and I'm still thinking about using it to build a latrine in the future. Before Chu Yunshan could finish speaking, Yi Feng refused directly and gave reasons. The golden silkworm star shines on the stone and builds a latrine. When the 5 great ancestors and Wuming Luo heard this, they were so angry that they almost didn't come up. Call. Chu Yunshan took a deep breath and tried to put on a smile and asked, Yi Feng, do you know how important this golden silkworm star shines to an artifact refiner? 5 ancestors, I don't know about this, but I only know that the latrine built with this stuff is dazzling in the sunlight, and it's definitely very cool to squat in it. Puff. Hearing this, everyone almost spit out a mouthful of old blood. It is the golden silkworm star shining stone, a powerful spiritual mine that can absorb the power of thunder tribulation. Any transcends tribulation realm powerhouse dreams of getting a piece made by the golden silkworm star. How did the spiritual tool made by Yaoshi come to you, and your mind is full of using it to go to the latrine? Are you going to hide in the latrine when you wait for the transcends tribulation? When Chu Yunshan thought of this, his expression suddenly froze, and he looked at Yifeng quickly and asked, "You mean, you can get more golden silkworm stars in the future?" "Yes, I will have more of this stuff in the future. I will definitely have to build a latrine. If there is any leftover, I will definitely keep it for the 5 elders." Yifeng didn't understand why the other party suddenly asked such a question, but he answered the other party directly. "Good, good, good. It's good to cover the latrine with this golden silkworm star shining stone." Hearing Yifeng's words, Chu Yunshan suddenly raised his head and laughed, not only staring at Yifeng, but also the other 4 ancestors and Luo Wuming were stunned, once doubting whether Chu Yunshan couldn't stand this excited, went crazy. 5, are you crazy? That's a golden silkworm star shining a stone. You actually encourage this prodigal son to use such a spiritual mind to build a latrine. Luo Tianxing pulled Chu Yunshan over and asked, "Are you stupid? If this kid really has enough golden silkworm stars and shining stones to build the latrine, when we really want to completely ascend to the upper realm with transcends tribulation, then we can hide in the latrine and resist the thunderstorm. How many golden silkworms and shining stones does a latrine need, and how much power of thunder tribulation must be absorbed at that time? To put it poorly, if his latrine is strong enough, we hide in the latrine, and maybe the power of thunder tribulation can be fully absorbed. Absorb, we can squat in the toilet in a large size. Think about it, there are thunderclouds surging outside, the thunder roars, and the thunderstorms smash down, but they can't break the latrine made of golden silkworm Xingyaoshi, and the transcends tribulation succeeded after we squatted in the pit. How cool is that? What?" At the end, Chu Yunshan's eyes were full of anticipation. And the rest of the people also reacted after listening to it. If they can really squat and succeed in transcends tribulation, then it is actually cool, it is really cool. You can still play like this. Luo Wuming, who was listening on the side, couldn't help but burst into foul language at the moment, and then looked at Yifeng not far away with an unbelievable expression. If it can really be done, wouldn't it mean that in the future, the people of Xingjizong, as long as in the transcends tribulation realm, there is no need to worry about the thunder calamity that every breakthrough first stage needs to face? 9-leaf soul returning grass. Resurrection pill. What's so special, if you have this golden latrine that can resist thunder calamity, and go to such a soul returning life-saving pill, who needs that shit? What are they planning? Yifeng, who was not far away, watched the 6 people gathered around whispering there, and everyone looked at themselves with strange eyes from time to time, and there was a big question mark on their faces. How could Yifeng think that the 5 great ancestors and Luo Wuming had already set their sights on the golden silkworm Xingyaoshi latrine that he was going to lose? 10 minutes later, Luo Wuming, this time Yifeng went to the Heavenly Dao battlefield without fail. Gather all the outer sect disciples in the Chi-Chi territory in the sect. Once you encounter a crisis on the Heavenly Dao battlefield, no matter what the cost, you must ensure Yifeng's safety. Luo Tianxing learned that Yifeng returned to this sect this time to prepare to go to the Heavenly Dao battlefield for training, so he directly issued an order to Luo Wuming. This is the god of wealth of sect, and he must be fully prepared. Master, great ancestor, actually, I want to enter the Heavenly Dao battlefield alone to experience. If there are so many brothers and sisters going with me, my experience is meaningless. Furthermore, in the Heavenly Dao battlefield, whether I encounter other interface creatures or demonic beasts, with my strength, there is absolutely no problem in protecting myself. Yifeng suddenly made a sound at this time, thinking that he took a large group of senior brothers to the Heavenly Dao battlefield. It is not necessarily whether everyone will protect him or he will protect everyone. After all, the more people that gather, although the safety factor increases, but the coefficient of encountering danger is also proportional. If he was in danger, he couldn't watch brother sect die there, not to mention that he still had this prodigal escort. There was no problem with safety. Hearing Yifeng's thoughts, the great ancestor also pondered. Okay, but you must be careful about everything by yourself, and you must not trust anyone. You have a good rest in sect for the past 2 days, and then set off for the Heavenly Dao battlefield teleportation tower early on the 3rd day. In the end, the great ancestor agreed to Yifeng's proposal. When Yifeng returned to the main peak's residence, he found that the 5 brothers and sisters were still in their own residence, and asked in surprise, "Senior brothers and sisters, you haven't left yet?" "Little junior brother, the epiphany pill you gave us before, do you still have it? Seeing Yi Feng coming back, Chen Haoyu hurriedly stepped forward and asked. Even though it has been a long time since the epiphany ended, Wu Tianzhao has not woken up from such an incredible thing. A medicine pill can make people instantly enter the realm of epiphany, which is tantamount to a great opportunity. A medicine pill, a chance, they are not wanting to face, just want to get a few more in Yi Feng's hands. Not much, there are 90 epiphany pills left, but 70 of them have been handed over to the great ancestor. Hearing this, Sha Tiantian hurriedly asked, the remaining 20 epiphany pills, can you give one more to senior sister, just one? Speaking of the end, Sha Tian has already started to act like a spoiled child, and to act like a spoiled child to the younger brother he just met, Sha Tian has really ignored everything. No, Yi Feng took a few steps back at this time, looked at Wu Tianzhao and said seriously, the remaining 20 epiphany pills are for my dogs, and the ancestors asked me to not give them. This is my last bottom line. Prodigal, very loser, very loser. Hearing Yi Feng's words, Wu Tianzhao's mind couldn't help but sounded another evaluation of Luo Wuming's Yi Feng, but a prodigal family can't be prosperous to such an extent. This kind of epiphany dan, which is not weaker than chance, should be used to feed the dog, and still 20. Little junior brother, we are abrupt. To get an epiphany pill is already our chance. Chance is something we can't force. Chen Haoyu said with embarrassment at this time. Master, why can't you force it? There are 70 epiphany pills there, and I handed them over to sect. As the 5 core disciplines of sect, who will not use the epiphany pill for you? Pong, pong, pong. Yi Feng's voice fell, and the 5 of them each used the movement technique they were good at, and they rushed out of the room one by one at the fastest speed. Little junior brother, let's go to get the epiphany pill first. If there is any need for help in the future, we will be there on call. Soon, Chen Haoyu's voice came from outside the room. Why? Yi Feng sighed at this time and muttered to himself, the grief of the prodigal gods is nothing compared to this. I can't feel the excitement and joy of their painstaking efforts to get an epiphany pill. Wait a moment, system, didn't I give each of the 5 great ancestors 1 million top quality spirit stones before? Why isn't there a reward? Suddenly thinking of something, Yi Feng quickly asked the system. Ding. Because the 5 great ancestors did not sincerely accept and prepare to return it to the host, the prodigal incident is still in progress, and it is not over. Isn't it? These 5 great ancestors are old and their brains can't work anymore, even if they have money. Hearing the system's explanation, Yi Feng's face was instantly covered with black lines, and he never thought that the 5 ancestors were going to return to him. Yi Feng, I didn't disturb your rest. Say Cao Cao, Cao Cao is here. The great ancestor Luo Tianxing walked in from the outside with a smile on his face. Don't disturb, don't disturb. By the way, I use the top quality spirit stones for the ancestors casually. Don't be polite to the disciples. I have a lot of things to do. Since he already knew the purpose of the other party's visit, how could Yi Feng let the other party return the spirit stones to himself? As the saying goes, cutting people's fortunes is tantamount to killing their parents. Forehead. Luo Tianxing, who was about to return spirit stones, was dumbfounded when he heard this. How could he take it out? Don't return it to Yi Feng. If this is spread out, the old faces of the 5 old guys will be lost. Old ancestor, you are coming here now to return the spirit stones to me, right? To be honest, although I don't know the spirit stones reserve of Xingjizong, but all the spirit stones in the entire sect add up, I am afraid that it is not enough for me. I really don't care about the best spirit stones. By the way, great ancestor, if sect needs spirit stones, just tell me. Yi Feng didn't forget to advertise himself at the end, although he also told Luo Chenshui, but Luo Chenshui didn't mention it to him at all. Then, I wonder if you have a spirit crystal in your hand. It just so happens that sect spiritual crystals are not enough, and spiritual crystals are the main source of power to maintain the protector's great array. Try it out. Although what he said was true, Luo Tianxing was also testing. He wanted to know how much wealth Yi Feng still had. If he could really come up with some spiritual crystals, it would really solve the urgent needs of Xingji sect. Although the Xingji sect is one of the top sects in the Xuantian continent, the Xuantian continent is vast, and there are not a few forces of the same level. After thousands of years of development, there are also many deadly enemies. In the past few hundred years, the number of spiritual crystals obtained in the heavenly Tao battlefield was very small, which was indeed one of the problems that the Xingji sect needed to deal with. Spirit crystal. Yi Feng's eyes lit up when he heard it. This is not coming to life again. System, look how good this sect person is to me. Now sect is just like my family. I donate 10 billion top quality spirit crystals to my family, isn't it too much? To Yi Feng's expectations, after he finished speaking, the system became surprisingly silent. Ding. Host, can you point your face? 10 billion top quality spirit crystals. As long as the sect you are in has been opening the guardian formation, it is enough to support hundreds of years, and the number exceeds the standard. System, what you said is wrong. Sect is my home. What's wrong with me protecting my own home? 1 billion top-grade spirit crystals can't be less, or do you think I won't survive for decades? That's right, Yi Feng not only negotiated the price, but also built the time on the basis of opening the protecting sect grade array all the time, and this was also the new direction he wanted to try. He just wanted to see if the system was a rigid one. If not, it's fun afterwards. On the boring road of Prodigal, there is nothing to bargain with the system, wouldn't it be a lot of fun? Ding. 100 million top-quality spirit crystals, guarding the host's home in another world, there can't be more. Hearing the system's answer, Yi Feng also showed an extremely surprised expression. He could really bargain, instead of ignoring his reasons and rejecting it directly. The spirit crystal is unique to the heavenly Tao battlefield. It seems that he should be gone. Seeing that Yi Feng didn't answer for a long time, Luo Tianxing didn't have much reaction. Originally, he was just a test, and he didn't really want to get the spirit crystal from Yi Feng. Old ancestor, this is 100 million top-grade spirit crystals. If you think about it, with these top-grade spirit crystals, even if our Xingji sect keeps opening the guardian formation, it will be enough to support it for several years. However, what the great ancestor did not expect was that just when he thought Yi Feng couldn't take out the spirit crystal at all, the other party suddenly took out an interspatial ring and stuffed it into his hand. 100 million top-quality spirit crystals. Looking at the interspatial ring in his hand, Luo Tianxing once wondered if his own ears had just had auditory hallucinations. 100 million. And it's still a top-quality spirit crystal. It is no exaggeration to say that even if all the things in the Xingji sect were sold, they would not be able to get so many top-quality spirit crystals. Gudong. After swallowing, Luo Tianxing directly released divine sense to check the interspatial ring in his hand. As far as the eye can see, densely packed, countless top-quality spiritual crystals lay quietly in the interspatial ring. After seeing these countless top-quality spiritual crystals, Luo Tianxing's breathing suddenly became rapid, and the right hand holding the interspatial ring shook uncontrollably. Up. This interspatial ring is worth far more than the Xingji sect. Even Luo Tianxing is a little panicked at this moment. Ding. Congrats to the host who has succeeded in losing his family, and obtained 200 Prodigal points. Ding. Congratulations to the host for the success of the Prodigal, obtaining 300 Prodigal points, and obtaining the 9-star Sword Formation Enhanced Edition Formation Secret Code 1. Here comes the reward. Yi Feng also laughed when he heard the two prompt tones from the system. Not only was the Prodigal Act just now a success, but also the Prodigal Act that was presented to the 5 great ancestors, the $1 million spirit stones, which proved that Luo Tianxing was successful at this time. Those superb spirit stones have been accepted. However, what makes Yi Feng curious is that the special reward obtained this time is an enhanced version of formation, but he does not understand formation. Yi Feng, these top-quality spirit crystals, are you really willing to hand them over to sect? Luo Tianxing's questioning at this time is often with a vibrato. Even if he is a peak powerhouse of the 9th stage in the Transcends Tribulation realm, he has endured 5 Heavenly Tao Thunder Tribulations, and he only needs to resist 4 Heavenly Tao Thunder Tribulations to ascend smoothly. But in the face of 100 million top-quality spirit crystals, he still can't control his own emotions. Old ancestor, of course I am willing. This is a trivial matter. Just tell me when it's not needed. In fact, I suggest that we keep the Protector's formation on when we have nothing to do with sect. What Yi Feng said was sincere. Even if the protector array was always on, it would still take years to use up these top-quality spirit crystals, but he could continue to give them when they were gone. Anyway, the system provided unlimited amounts of them. Is the point of failure? No. Superior spirit crystals are extremely precious, and sect has not encountered a crisis. How can it be so defeated? Waste. Luo Tianxing directly rejected Yi Feng's proposal. Old ancestor, it's too small, your pattern is too small. It's just 100 million top-quality spirit crystals. I'm just a drizzle. You don't have to use them all. How can I continue to contribute my own meager power to sect? Yi Feng quickly persuaded. 100 million top-quality spirit crystals are drizzle. Is 100 million top-quality spirit crystals a meager power? What you said has made others die. Luo Tianxing was really about to collapse due to Yi Feng's wealth and his arrogant way of losing his family. You really still have. This time, Luo Tianxing asked very seriously. Yes, there are many. If the sect is useless, feel free to ask me for it. Hearing this, Luo Tianxing gritted his teeth and made the craziest decision in his life, and said directly, okay, from today onwards, the 9-star sword formation of Xingjizong will be permanently opened. 9-star sword formation. Sect's guardian array is the 9-star sword array. Yi Feng was also taken aback when he heard Luo Tianxing say the 9-star sword formation. Didn't this just get an enhanced version? Old ancestor, I have a set of formations, can you see? With that said, Yi Feng directly took out the 9-star sword formation enhanced formation secret code that he had just obtained. This is. The more he looked, the more shocked, and at the end, Luo Tianxing looked at Yi Feng as if he were looking at a monster. 9-star sword formation. Xingjizong has inherited the guardian formation for thousands of years, and the formation secret book in his hand turned out to be an improved 9-star sword formation. Although the consumption will be increased tenfold, the formation power will also be increased tenfold. Old ancestor, don't ask, you just don't know. Yi Feng couldn't explain what Luo Tianxing wanted to ask himself, so he simply blocked the other party's mouth first. Okay, don't ask. From the beginning, you are the honorary elder of our Xingji sect, and your status in sect is not weaker than our 5 ancestors. Even if Luo Wuming, the sect leader, sees you later, he must respectfully call Yi elder. Quote. Luo Tianxing looked at Yi Feng with a very serious expression, and directly arranged a new identity for him. Disciple, core discipline. That's all shit, those identities are simply humiliation to Yi Feng. No, great ancestor, you're playing too hard. I'm not interested in that honorable elder, so I'll just be a core discipline. And I'm still the master's direct disciple. When I come back from the Heavenly Dao battlefield, I have to go back to the Star Soul sect. Yi Feng quickly refused after hearing this. He didn't want such a high status. Yi Feng, who has lived all his life, knows very well that the higher his status, the greater his responsibility, and he wants to be a quiet prodigal in sect, but he doesn't want to cause a lot of trouble. No, in that case, sect is completely sorry for all your contributions. In this way, you are still the 6th core discipline of the sect, and you can return to the Star Soul sect later, but you are still the honorary elder of the Star Soul sect. Only Luo Wuming and our 5 great ancestors know this identity, no affect your normal life. Why? Seeing Luo Tianxing's resolute attitude, Yi Feng also sighed helplessly and said, Old ancestor, let's talk first. Sect lacks spirit stones and Lingjing I have things, and I don't care about other things. Yi Feng, have you rested yet? Do you want to visit the demonic beasts peak where demonic beasts are held in our sect? At this moment, Luo Wuming's voice came from outside the door. Yi Feng is now the god of wealth in Wuming Luo's heart. What kind of teacher is not a teacher? And now I am afraid that Yi Feng will be too boring, so I came here to prepare to take him to demonic beasts peak. The great ancestor. After entering the room, Luo Wuming was also stunned when he saw that Luo Tianxing was also here. Bullshit. Yi Feng is also your name. My name is Elder Yi. However, before Luo Wuming understood why Luo Tianxing was here, he was reprimanded by the other party. What leaf elder? Who is Elder Yi? Luo Wuming couldn't help but look at Yi Feng. The surname here seems to be Yi Feng, but isn't Yi Feng a core discipline? From now on, Yi Feng is the honorary elder of our Xingji sect. His identity and status are the same as those of our 5 ancestors. When you see Elder Yi in the future, please give me a correct attitude. Luo Tianxing looked at Luo Wuming and continued to reprimand. Honor Elder, on an equal footing with the 5 great patriarchs. Crazy. Luo Wuming was going crazy at this moment, he couldn't understand why the great ancestor suddenly made such a decision. Old ancestor, can I know how Yi Feng became an honorary elder? He didn't dare to refute her question, but Wuming Luo still wanted to know how cultivation technique Yi Feng became the honorary elder of sect. But he gave too much. Even if it is the honorary elder, I feel wronged Yi Feng. After saying this, Luo Tianxing left Yi Feng's residence. After all, he still needed to go back and talk to the other 4 ancestors for such a big event. But when Luo Wuming heard this, it felt extremely familiar. Wasn't Yi Feng also bought the number of direct disciples of his precious daughter? But this is the honorary elder of Xingjizong. Yi Feng, can you tell me how much it cost you to buy this honorary elder? Seeing Luo Tianxing leave, Luo Wuming also relaxed a little. After all, he was still Yi Feng's teacher, and the ancestors had left, so he didn't call Yi Feng Yi Elder so rigidly. Master, don't call me Elder Yi in the future, I'm not used to listening to it, and I'm still the core discipline of Xingji sect, and I'm also the master's direct disciple. This honorary elder is a name, except for you and the rest. The great ancestor knows that it will not be disclosed to the public. As for what it cost, it's actually nothing. It's nothing more than 100 million top-grade spirit crystals and an upgraded version of the 9-star sword formation secret tome. Yi Feng replied casually. Ah, ha ha. Hearing Yi Feng's words, Luo Wuming's face stiffened with a smirk or a smirk. 100 million top-grade spirit crystals, that is top-grade spirit crystals, it is not worth the money to sell Xingjizong. 9-star sword array, even though there have been several powerful formations in sect for thousands of years, thinking about whether to improve the 9-star sword array, but in the end, they all failed. You are directly the improved 9-star sword array. If Luo Wuming didn't recognize the great ancestor very much before, it is definitely an extreme recognition now, and he even thought that it was just an honorary elder that indeed wronged Yi Feng. Master, what did you just say about demonic beasts peak? Let's go see it. Yi Feng has never met demonic beasts in this world. He is really interested in demonic beasts unique to this world. On the other hand, when Luo Tianxing returned to the cultivation immortal cave in the back mountain, he directly summoned the 4 great ancestors. Boss, did you return spirit stones to Yi Feng? We can't afford to lose that person. The second ancestor, Zhang Haoyu, hurriedly asked about this. Luo Tianxing shook his head after hearing this. When the 4 great ancestors saw this, their expressions changed. They did not expect that the most stable elder brother, Luo Tianxing, did not return it. Dage, confused, you are confused, how can you not pay it back? We are really not short of millions of the best spirit stones. The third ancestor, Cao Minfang, had a hot personality, and he couldn't help shouting at this moment. Everyone, not only did I not pay it back, but I also took some benefits from Yi Feng. Although I really didn't want it, he gave it too much, and I couldn't refuse it at all. After speaking, Luo Tianxing didn't wait for the 4 to speak, and directly took out the interspatial ring containing 100 million top-quality spirit crystals and placed it on the stone table in front of him. Although the other 4 ancestors wanted to say something, they all immediately released their divine sense to check the interspatial ring on the stone table. After a few seconds, when the 4 great ancestors saw the densely packed top-quality spirit crystals in the interspatial ring, not only did they hold back all the words they wanted to say, but they were also dumbfounded. Dage, how much is the total? I don't know how long it took, the 5th ancestor Chu Yunshan asked in a trembling voice. 100 million. Hiss. Hearing this number, the 4 great ancestors immediately took a deep breath. Now, they finally understand what Luo Tianxing meant when he said that he gave too much. If it was them, they would not be able to refuse. With these 100 million top-grade spirit crystals, it is enough to ensure that the Xingji sect will be worry-free for thousands of years. After half a sound, Chu Yunshan spoke again. After all, sect will not be attacked by powerful enemies all the time. It is not good to say it. As long as the Xingjizong continues to prosper, the number of times the Guardian formation will be opened is very small, then this is a safe time, will be longer. Do not From today onwards, the guardian formation of our Xingji sect will be permanently open. No matter whether it encounters a sect crisis or not, it must be kept open at all times. Yi Feng said, my layout is too small, only 100 million top-grade spirit crystals, if you don't need it, just ask him for it. Hearing the first two sentences, the four great ancestors felt that Luo Tianxing was absolutely crazy, but when they heard the latter sentence, they all fell silent again. Sect has a divine disciple, what can they do? Hey! This kid has only been here for a day, why do I feel like a beggar? After a long silence, the fourth ancestor Cheng Xingfei laughed at himself with a wry smile, and these words also hit the hearts of the other four. That's 100 million top-quality spirit crystals. If you give any transcends tribulation realm 9th stage pinnacle boss, you can definitely create a first-class sect, or even a top-level sect, in a very short period of time. By the way, Yi Feng also gave me a formation secret book, which is the enhanced version of the 9-star sword formation. Although the consumption has increased tenfold, the power has also increased tenfold. The tenfold 9-star sword sect, even if it is carried the peak powerhouse of the 9th stage in the transcends tribulation realm of the 9 heavenly Tao thunder tribulations will have to be severely damaged even if they don't die. At this time, Luo Tianxing threw a blockbuster again, which shook the minds of the other four great ancestors. Demonic Beast's Peak Base. Walking on the peak road, Yi Feng saw that there was a black hole in the left rock wall at intervals, and the roar of demonic beasts was constantly heard inside. Yi Feng, in these demon-sealing caves, demonic beasts of different strengths and numbers are sealed. The higher the level, the stronger the sealed demonic beasts. Luo Wuming also introduced the situation of demonic beasts peak to Yi Feng at this time. Master, why do you want to seal these demonic beasts and just kill them? If you don't understand, ask. Yi Feng doesn't understand what's the point of sealing these demonic beasts here at such a huge price. Life and death experience. For countless years, I don't know how many disciples in sect died in Feng Yao Cave. However, whether you leave sect to go out for training or go to Heavenly Tao for training, you will encounter powerful demonic beasts. If you want to leave sect, you must go through the life and death experience of Feng Yadong. At least here, you still have a great chance of survival. But in the outside world, those demonic beasts don't give you any chance of life. Luo Wuming looked at Yi Feng, who was extremely puzzled, and explained it patiently. I see. After listening, Yi Feng finally understood. Master, am I going to the Heavenly Tao battlefield in 2 days? Would you like to go in and try it? Soon, Yi Feng asked eagerly. Hearing this, Luo Wuming looked at Yi Feng with a black face and said, these demonic beasts were all captured from the outside world or from the Heavenly Tao battlefield. Let's leave the opportunity to other brothers and sisters. Thinking of Yi Feng's strength, 200 heads and realm demonic beasts are definitely not his opponents. That is simply a waste of demonic beasts' resources, and it is a waste of money. Pity. Looks like I won't be able to fight the demonic beasts until I go to Heavenly Tao. Hearing Luo Wuming's words, Yi Feng also showed a hint of disappointment. Master, how much is a demonic beasts at the peak of 9th stage worth? Yi Feng still really wanted to see demonic beasts, so he simply prepared to perform the great law of the prodigal. The sun is so good today. Seeing that Luo Wuming ignored his own inquiry and walked forward on his own, Yi Feng's face was gradually covered with black lines. After walking around, except to see a black hole with a seal of demonic beasts, there was nothing that could arouse Yi Feng's interest, which made him extremely regret coming. 2 hours later, after Luo Wuming brought Yi Feng back to his residence, Yi Feng immediately rested. At present, the prodigal point is only 2,810 points. He plans to save a wave, and then he will directly break through his strength to the peak of 9th stage. Early the next morning, after Yi Feng got up, he immediately checked the products of today's prodigal family. A corpse of demonic beasts of the Purple Thunder Lion. Purple Thunder Crazy Lion. What level of demonic beasts? It's just a corpse, how can it be defeated reasonably? With doubts, Yi Feng also directly found the senior brother Chen Haoyu. Demonic beasts' corpses. We cultivators can use spirit power to extract pure demonic beasts' blood essence from demonic beasts' corpses. This demonic beast's blood essence is not important to us normal cultivators, but it is extremely important to body cultivators. The body cultivator is the cultivation technique where cultivation refines the flesh. The spiritual chi that absorbs the heavens and the earth keeps refining the flesh, making the flesh constantly transform. The combat effectiveness is also extremely terrifying, and demonic beast's blood essence is absolutely for the body cultivator. It is the best auxiliary cultivation resource. When Chen Haoyu heard Yi Feng's question, he explained it patiently. Elder brother, what if you don't use spirit power to temper it, but roast the meat of demonic beasts directly? After listening to Yi Feng, he asked a new question again. Forehead. Hearing this, Chen Haoyu was also stunned, and even looked at Yi Feng with a strange look. He couldn't understand why Yi Feng had so many strange thoughts. The more powerful the demonic beast's corpse is, the more difficult it is to extract demonic beast's blood essence, and if you eat it directly, it may absorb less than 1% of the power of demonic beast's blood essence. Demonic beasts of low-level realm don't matter. But if it's a powerful demonic beast's corpse, if you don't extract the demonic beast's blood essence, but just bake it and eat it, it's really a bit of a loser. Although he couldn't understand Yi Feng's thoughts, Chen Haoyu explained it anyway. Then do our sect have a body cultivator? In addition to not knowing the level of the Purple Thunder Lion, Yi Feng also basically understood some of the situation in this regard, and directly asked the last question. Yes, the fifth ancestor is a powerful transcends tribulation body cultivator, which has a lot to do with him being a powerful refiner. This question, Chen Haoyu gave the answer directly. Looking at Yi Feng, who left immediately after hearing this, Chen Haoyu frowned suddenly, then his eyes widened suddenly, and he said in shock, there shouldn't be a demonic beast's corpse with a very high realm in his hands, and it won't be a preparation. Just bake and eat. Thinking of this little junior brother's arrogant and prodigal character, Chen Haoyu felt more and more that his own guess was true. Inner sect training ground. Yi Feng directly took out the corpse of the Purple Thunder Lion from the system, and a terrifying aura instantly enveloped the entire martial arts field. The terrifying oppression made all outer sect disciples feel a death-like suffocation. Pong! The huge corpse of the hill-like Purple Thunder Lion smashed to the ground heavily, sending out a roar. Senior brothers and sisters, don't compete today, hurry up and cut the meat for me. Today I invite everyone to eat barbecue. Thousands of outer sect disciples carried the suffocating pressure and walked to the huge corpse of the Purple Thunder Lion. Everyone's eyes were full of horror, although they didn't know what level of demonic beasts the demonic beasts in front of them were. Beasts, but the levels are absolutely scary. And Yi Feng not only did not refine the demonic beast's corpse into demonic beast's blood essence, but prepared to invite them to eat barbecue, which made them excited. This level of demonic beast's meat, this time I missed it, I am afraid I may not have a chance in this life can eat. Senior brother Yi Feng, the scales on this demonic beasts are too hard. My sword has been cut off, but it can't hurt in the slightest. Senior brother Yi Feng, I found a few weak points that are not covered with scales, but, even my long sword with the sharp gold spirit power can't break through the flesh of these demonic beasts. Senior brother Yi Feng, you can't eat it. Sect disciples were standing everywhere on the body of the hill-like Zile Mad Lion, but no matter what means the disciples used, they couldn't cause any damage to the corpse of Zile Mad Lion, which made them collapse. System, is there any knife tool that can easily cut this demonic beasts? It's no problem to borrow it, otherwise I can't solve this prodigal product. If you don't understand, then look for a solution in the system. Ding. Lend 100 daggers to the host temporarily, and you need to return them later, otherwise a lot of prodigal points will be deducted. The system seemed to have guessed Yi Feng's idea of not returning it, and immediately gave a severe punishment for not returning it. Forehead. Hearing the consequences of not returning it, Yi Feng could only scold the system for being too stingy, and then took out 100 daggers and sent them to the surrounding disciples. Senior brother Yi Feng, this dagger is too fierce, and the incomparably hard scales of demonic beasts are under this dagger, like thin paper. Senior brother Yi Feng, the flesh of the demonic beasts is also easily cut, this dagger is too terrifying. As the body of Zile Guangxi was quickly cut, pieces of flesh and blood piled up, and the rest of the disciples gathered around also picked up wooden sticks and began to string big meat skewers in earnest. When the firewood is piled up, Yi Feng releases a trace of fire spirit power instantly ignites the firewood. The many disciples in charge of the skewers took the skewers and gathered around the fires one after another, and began to grill them seriously. Yi Feng, who was standing on the side, looked at the thousands of outer sect disciples performing their duties, and felt that this was a bonfire feast. CCC. As the flesh and blood of the purple thunder crazy lion began to spit out oil, the heart-wrenching aroma of meat instantly wafted across the entire martial arts field, which made many disciples unable to help but swallow their saliva. Xingjizong is 10 miles east. A burly but blood-covered middle-aged man stepped out of the void, glanced at the direction of Xingjizong, and grinned. Luo Wuming, this time Daddy made a lot of money on the Heavenly Dao battlefield, and he made a lot of money. I got 80 top-grade spirit crystals, not low-grade, but top-grade. I really look forward to your envy and purple eyes. Thinking of this, the burly man flew quickly in the direction of Xingjizong with a smile. What happened? Is Xingjizong in danger? When the burly man came to the vicinity of Xingjizong and noticed the formation aura opened by the Guardian formation, his face changed suddenly and the murderous intention in his eyes skyrocketed. It's not right. There is no enemy outside, isn't it just me? But soon, the burly man realized that something was wrong, because there was no enemy here, just an old friend like him. It's just that I haven't seen the power of the 9-star sword array for many years. Let's see how many 9-star sword lights my body can withstand now. Without calling Luo Wuming to come out, the burly man was about to enter the Protectorate Great Array to try. However, as soon as he stepped into the range of the 9-star sword formation, a sense of suffocation instantly filled his heart. Without any hesitation, the burly man escaped from the sword formation at the fastest speed. Call, call, call. The burly man who escaped from the sword formation stood on the spot panting continuously, but the horror in his eyes became more and more intense. Must die. The burly man dared to guarantee that if he was not fast enough just now, he would have died in the sword formation at this time, and a 9-star sword light would be enough to obliterate him at will. The most powerful guardian formation of the Xingji sect, the 9-star sword formation, has been improved. It is not known how many times its power is in the past. Who is it that improved the sword formation to such a terrifying level? The burly man was also thoughtful at this time. Luo Kai, are you crazy? Can't you notice that the guardian formation is on? At this moment, Luo Wuming's eager voice sounded from within the sect. Looking at Luo Wuming who flew out of the sect, Luo Kai's face was not only a bitter smile, but also a bitter smile, who knew that your family's guardian formation was an enhanced version. Let's go, it says inside. Seeing that Luo Kai didn't have an accident, Luo Wuming was relieved. Luo Wuming, your sect has opened the great array of protecting the sect. Could it be that a powerful enemy has attacked recently? Following Luo Wuming's side, Luo Kai also asked seriously. No, it's just that there are a little more spirit crystals in the sect recently, so I decided to permanently open the sect formation. By the way, you should have felt the power of the 9-star sword array now. It is 10 times stronger than before. Although the consumption has also increased 10 times, it is all drizzle. Luo Wuming explained with a big-hearted look with a smile. This is forcing you to pretend. Then tell me, how many spirit crystals do your sect have now? Seeing Luo Wuming's pretense at this moment, Luo Kai asked in disbelief. However, just received 100 million top-grade spirit crystals. Although the consumption has increased tenfold, it is still enough to support several months. By the way, you look like you just came back from the Heavenly Dao battlefield. What's the matter with me? Luo Wuming looked at Luo Kai, who was covered in blood, and asked curiously. ... Hearing this question, Luo Kai's face instantly became embarrassed. He and Luo Wuming were old friends for decades. He knew that the other party would not make such a big joke with him. Since he said that there are 100 million top-quality spirit crystals, then absolutely, no matter how it came. But thinking that he still wanted to bring 80 top-quality spirit crystals over to pretend to be a force, he now has the heart to cry to death, and he can't wait to find a crack to burrow into it immediately. It's okay, it's been a long time since I asked you for a drink, so I thought about it and came over to have a good drink with you. Luo Kai casually made up a reason, but it didn't make Luo Wuming think too much. After all, the two really hadn't gotten together for a few years. What's the smell? It smells so good. Just as they passed the inner sect area, a strong aroma of meat drifted into the noses of the two of them with the breeze. After a while, when the two followed the scent to the inner sect training ground and saw the corpse of the purple thunder lion with only half remaining, they exclaimed together with their pupils tightening, Xyle Mad Lion. This breath. This purple thunder lion is definitely a terrifying monster that has survived 9 heavenly Tao thunder tribulations and can fly to the upper realm at any time. Even if it's just a corpse, but feeling the pressure from the purple thunder lion's body that makes the two heart palpitate, the two people's expressions change greatly again. And many more. What are the thousands of disciples below doing? Roast and eat the flesh and blood of such terrifying monsters. Luo Wuming, is your Xingji sect already so rich? At this time, Luo Kai finally noticed the scene where thousands of disciples below were eating meat skewers, and couldn't help but look at Luo Wuming and exclaimed. Rich. It was definitely the work of that prodigal Yi Feng. The terrifying monster, the demonic beast's blood essence extracted from the flesh and blood of these terrifying monsters is so precious, he actually used it to roast meat, and even gave it to these disciples to eat. Thinking of this, Luo Wuming almost fainted. If the fifth ancestor saw it, he couldn't vomit blood directly. That is, at this moment, Luo Kai suddenly came to a terrifying scene that made his heart skip a beat. A disciple with only Qi realm strength actually took a seemingly ordinary black dagger and cut off the scales covered by the purple thunder wild lion. What kind of divine armament weapon is that to ignore the scales of realm's purple thunder lion? Cut it off. Crazy. I haven't been here for many years. At this moment, Luo Kai even has a strange sense of Xingjizong. When did his old friend's sect become so terrifying? 5 ancestors, come here quickly. Yi Feng is starting to lose his family again. He carried the corpse of the purple thunder lion who passed the 9 heavenly Tao thunder tribulations. He actually served thousands of sect's disciples on kebabs. If you don't come here again, you will be eaten by them in a while. Hearing that Luo Wuming used the sound transmission jade pendant to transmit a sound to his ancestors, and seeing Luo Wuming's collapsed expression, Luo Kai suddenly felt as if he had guessed wrong. In this situation, Luo Wuming himself was a little confused. Force it. Luo Wuming, who is Yi Feng you just said? Why let the 5th ancestor come to dissuade him? Why don't you just go up and dissuade him? Luo Kai looked at Luo Wuming with a puzzled face at this time and asked. You think I don't want to? This Yi Feng was originally the 6th core discipline of sect. As a result, he gave sect 100 million top-quality spirit crystals and an enhanced version of the 9-star Sword Array secret book yesterday, and he became the honorary elder of sect. His status is the same as that of the 5 ancestors. Even if I have to respectfully call out Elder Yi, how can I dissuade him? For Luo Kai, Luo Wuming didn't hide anything. Back mountain. When Chu Yunshan heard Luo Wuming's voice transmission, his facial muscles twitched instantly, which made the 4 great ancestors beside him full of doubts. 5. What's wrong? Luo Tianxing asked in confusion. Dage, do you think it's important to me that the corpse of a big demon who has carried 9 heavenly Tao thunder tribulations is important to me? Hearing Luo Tianxing's question, Chu Yunshan asked directly like a wronged little widow with a resentful and wronged look. Of course, a monster corpse of that level is probably more important to you than the epiphany pill. Luo Tianxing also directly expressed his own thoughts, and the 3 ancestors on the side also nodded their heads. After all, among the 5, only Chu Yunshan is a body cultivator, and they also know how much demonic beast's blood essence is to the body cultivator. Important. Now there is such a big demon corpse in our sect, and it has been roasted and eaten by thousands of disciples in the outer sect. What? Hearing this, Luo Tianxing, Zhang Haoyu, Cao Minfeng and Cheng Xingfei all stood up in shock, their eyes filled with disbelief. Then what are you waiting for? Don't hurry up and stop them. After reacting, Luo Tianxing shouted to Chu Yunshan angrily. What if I'm in the past now? Luo Wuming just sent me a voice transmission. I'm afraid this big demon was taken out by Yi Feng's kid. He wants to give it to the thousands of sect disciples to bake and eat. What can I do? Hearing this, Luo Tianxing, Zhang Haoyu and the other 4 fell silent. After all, they have already obtained so many benefits from Yi Feng. You can't snatch the corpse of the big demon. After all, it belongs to Yi Feng. Moreover, even if it is roasted and eaten, after all, it is such a big demon of realm, I am afraid that thousands of outer sect disciples will benefit endlessly. In general, it is also a good thing for sect. It was Chu Yunshan who suffered. Forget it, why don't we go and eat it too? It's better to eat some than nothing. I've never eaten the meat of a monster of this level. In the end, Luo Tianxing made a suggestion, and then the 5 ancestors rushed to the intersect training ground at the fastest speed. At this time, Luo Wuming and Luo Kai had already joined the army of eating meat skewers, and they enjoyed eating them even more. The meat of the Purple Thunder Crazy Lion was so good, and it was roasted, and it tasted even better, is raised to a peak. After a while, the 5 ancestors also rushed to the martial arts training ground, greeted Yifeng and joined the army of eating skewers. After an hour, after Chu Yunshan took away the skeleton of Xile Wild Lion, the barbecue feast was completely ended. Thousands of disciples who re-entered cultivation were surprised to find that their own body had undergone a lot of changes. Elder Yi, this is my old friend Luo Kai, a body cultivator of the 4th stage of Transcends Tribulation. Luo Wuming also brought Luo Kai to meet Yifeng at this time. Hearing that Luo Wuming called himself Elder Yi, Yifeng was also a little helpless. Except for Chu Yunshan, the other 4 ancestors had not left. Junior Yifeng, I have met Luo Senior. Yifeng also shouted extremely humbly. Impossible. Hearing this senior, Luo Kai hurriedly discouraged him, and then hurriedly said, Elder Yi, I don't dare to be a senior, I don't dare to be a senior. You are my teacher's friend, so of course you are Junior's senior. However, after hearing this, it was because Luo Kaijang couldn't. Luo Wuming calls you Elder Yi, and you call him Master Shi. What does this have to do with it? Luo Kai, this kid Yifeng is Qinzu's eldest disciple, so I can be regarded as his teacher. Anyway, he has a lot of identities now. After explaining one sentence, Wuming Luo simply stopped talking about it when he thought that he would have to explain more. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully consuming today's Prodigal products, rewarding 1,000 Prodigal points, and rewarding the Transcends Tribulation 9th stage for the 9th stage Peak Purple Thunder Lion Demonic Beasts Blood Essence 200 that survived 9 Heavenly Tao Thunder Tribulations. System, what does it mean to withstand 9 Heavenly Tao Thunder Tribulations? Seeing the special reward obtained this time, the prefix is a little complicated, and Yifeng also asked in confusion. Ding! The Xuantian continent where the host is located, whether it is a cultivator or a demonic beasts, has reached the peak of the 9th stage in the Transcends Tribulation realm. If you want to fly to the upper realm, you need to resist 9 Heavenly Tao Thunder Tribulations. Heavenly Tao Thunder Tribulations are different from Transcends. Ordinary Thunder Tribulation that Tribulation realm needs to face. Hearing the system's explanation, Yifeng also probably understood that this should be a division of strength after the peak of the 9th stage in the Transcends Tribulation realm. Each time a Heavenly Tao Thunder calamity has been dealt with, the strength will be different. Nephew Yifeng, although I used your light to eat such delicious flesh and blood of the demon, but it should not be said, it was ruined, the corpse of this demon is really ruined, you know the demonic beasts extracted from the corpse of this demon how precious blood essence is to us body cultivators. Although he was exposed to Yifeng's light, but he didn't complain, Luo Kai felt uncomfortable. Who made him a body cultivator? Although the barbecue is delicious, the fragrance is in the mouth and the pain in the heart. Luo Senior, are you talking about this thing? Hearing Luo Kai's complaints, Yifeng spread out his hand, and a drop of red blood appeared in his palm. This breath, yes, is definitely the blood essence extracted from the corpse of the Purple Thunder Lion just now. Feeling the breath of blood essence, Luo Kai could not wait to grab this drop of blood essence and swallow it immediately. I have some of these things now, but I can't give them all. I have to save some for my dog. Yifeng has no interest at all in this demonic beast's blood essence, but now he is habitually preparing everything for his dog. As a dog raised by a prodigal god, he must have eaten everything. That's fine, so that he won't be given a losing face in the future. Cried. Hearing Yifeng's words, Luo Wuming's heart was weeping. He suddenly felt that his dignified Xingjizong sect leader was not as good as a dog, and he even envied the dog that Yifeng raised. One person has the way, and the chicken and the dog ascend to heaven. I really followed Yifeng, a dog took off directly, and a dog has everything that others dream of, but you are not angry. Dog, is that your friend's nickname? Luo Kai asked enviously at this time, he was really envious of Yifeng's friend. Luo Kai, the dog is not a human being, but an ordinary wild dog raised by Yifeng, but because he has swallowed more than 2009 pattern 3rd rank Qingshan pills, he has evolved towards demonic beasts. Dogs are not people. A dog ate more than 2009 pattern 3rd ranked Qingshan pills. In the past, the highest one was an 8 pattern Qingshan pill. When did the 9 patterns appear, and there were so many? The most important thing is that such a precious big demon blood essence has to feed a dog. Thinking of the end, Luo Kai is going crazy. He can't accept this kind of prodigal behavior at all. You're kidding me, aren't you? Finally, Luo Kai asked something that he thought was extremely reasonable. He didn't believe that someone in this world could lose their family to such a level of madness. It's okay, I'll go back first. Yi Feng didn't answer, just looked at Luo Kai and smiled and walked outside the martial arts field. Luo Kai, come with me, I'll give you a chance. After Luo Wuming finished speaking, he walked towards the martial arts field. Why are you all gone? But answer my question. What chance can you give me in your sect? Confused, Luo Kai chased after Luo Wuming who had left. Not long after, when he came to Luo Wuming's residence, he took out an epiphany pill and handed it to Luo Kai, and said with a serious face, if it weren't for our good relationship, I would never give you this thing. What kind of thing is this? It can't be poison. Luo Kai glanced at the dark epiphany dan in his hand, and laughed directly. The epiphany pill, you can immediately enter the realm of epiphany after swallowing it, and the duration is about 20 minutes. Real or fake? Looking at Luo Wuming with a serious face, Luo Kai couldn't help but swear. The epiphany is a rare opportunity. If you swallow this medicine pill, you can enter the state of epiphany. Although it was unbelievable, looking at Luo Wuming with a serious face, Luo Kai felt that the other party was not teasing him. Taking a deep breath, Luo Kai directly swallowed the epiphany pill in his hand. With the emergence of an aura of epiphany, Luo Kai's complexion changed, and he hurriedly sat on the ground with lotus position and cultivated with his eyes closed. 20 minutes later, this epiphany pill is also from Yi Feng's kid. In addition to contributing to sect, he still has 20 in his hand, and he is going to go back to his dog to eat. Seeing that Luo Kai cultivation ended and opened his eyes, Luo Wuming said this without waiting for the other person to speak. By the way, Sha Tianyu, you know that guy. Yi Feng said that if he does some physical work for him at ordinary times, and if he performs well, he will give a 9-leaf soul returning grass as a reward. He doesn't even care about the auction house now. Now, I went straight to my daughter's Star Soul sect to be the elder, and Bai Tianong also completely depended on my daughter's sect. Seeing that Luo Kai heard this and turned around and was about to leave, Luo Wuming looked bewildered and hurriedly shouted, "What are you doing? We haven't had a drink yet." "Drink a fart. I'm a lonely man. I'm alone all day. You didn't tell me about your daughter's founding of sect. I'm going to be an elder in your daughter's sect. It's time to have a home." Hearing this, looking at Luo Kai who rose up into the sky and left quickly, Luo Wuming was completely dumbfounded. This guy is really not wanting face. Who said that he would never join any force in his life? He said he didn't like rules and regulations, how comfortable it is to be free and comfortable, and he really wanted to have a home. I think you are eyeing those big boys in Yi Feng's hands. Demon blood essence. Luo Wuming complained frantically by himself, but in the end he had to admit that if it were him, he would probably make the same decision as Luo Kai, who made Yi Feng's hands have a fatal attraction. The big demon who has survived 9 heavenly Tao thunder tribulations. For a cultivator like them who has not even reached the peak of the 9th stage in the transcends tribulation realm, it is simply an existence that they look up to. No, even though I'm a brother with him, how could this kind of good thing be cheap for him? I have to hurry up and inform the 5th ancestor to get old. Thinking of this, Luo Wuming also rose into the sky and quickly rushed towards the back mountain. Pong. Yi Feng, who had just laid down and was about to go back to sleep to pass the time, was disturbed by the sound of the door suddenly breaking, and seeing that it was the senior brother Chen Haoyu, he said helplessly, "Eldest senior brother, you must be steady, don't panic in everything, look at it. My door was smashed. Little junior brother, I know you've lost your family, but I really didn't expect you to be such a madman." Forehead. Hearing this, Yi Feng was also confused. What did he do? Looking at Yi Feng, who was innocent and harmless to humans and animals, Chen Haoyu's mentality exploded instantly. Just now, he went to the sect book collection pavilion, and with the identity of the core discipline, he looked up some books that recorded the top monsters, and he really found the information of the Purple Thunder and the Wild Lion. Violet Thunder Lion, the extremely powerful demonic beasts in the demonic beasts family, can basically successfully break through to the terrifying monster of the transcends tribulation realm, and its body will continue to grow with its strength. Combined with the mountain-sized Purple Thunder Lion they ate before, it is enough to prove that it is a big monster in the transcends tribulation realm. As far as Chen Haoyu is concerned, it is very good to be able to calculate that the Purple Thunder Lion is in the transcends tribulation realm based on the book records. Forget it, I can't explain it to a prodigal like you. In the end, Chen Haoyu gave up. After all, he also knew some of Yifeng's past prodigal deeds. Even if he said it, the other party would not care about it at all, and the two were not in the same atmosphere at all. Sect leader said that in the future, let the 5 of us follow the younger brother to the Star Soul sect founded by Holy Maiden. It seems that I have to work hard to adapt to the arrogant and prodigal way of the younger brother. Shaking his head helplessly, Chen Haoyu turned around and left Yifeng's residence. Gone, what are you doing? I smashed my door, said something weird and left. You came to my door on purpose, right? Looking at Chen Haoyu who left directly, Yifeng also showed an unbelievable look. Call. A few minutes later, Yifeng wiped his sweat-free forehead, looking at the repaired door, he couldn't help showing a hint of pride. You can sleep well this time. Lying on the bed, Yifeng closed his eyes and prepared to find the immobilized 7 fairies to play a game. Pong. However, just when Yifeng was about to fall asleep, the sound of the door being slammed open woke him up again. Looking at the completely disintegrated door, and at the 5th ancestor Chu Yunshan, who was full of excitement, Yifeng is going crazy. Old Patriarch, don't say anything, I know what you are doing here, this 10-drop demon blood essence is a disciple who honors you. Yifeng wasn't stupid either. The 5th ancestor suddenly got up, and he also had an excited look. You don't have to think about it to know that Shigong Luo Wuming sold him again, and he simply took out 10 drops of the big demon blood essence. Oh, how embarrassing that is. Although he said that, Chu Yunshan took over the big demon blood essence as fast as he could, fearing that it would be taken back by Yifeng if it was delayed for a second. Elder Yi, then you have a good rest. If you need anything, you can come to me at any time. After he finished speaking, Chu Yunshan turned around and left Yifeng's residence full of joy. This door, forget it, I'll change the courtyard. Looking at the completely broken wooden door, Yifeng had given up on repairing it. Chapter 31. Go to sleep then, spend another day tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow you can go to the Heavenly Dao battlefield. After changing to another courtyard, Yifeng closed the door and lay on the bed, finally resting peacefully. The next day, early in the morning, Yifeng sat up from the bed and stretched, and directly checked the products of today's prodigal family. Prodigal product. Jing Shenxiang * 100. Jingshan incense. It is made from the mysterious tree of the underworld god. After being ignited, the fragrance it emits has the effect of calming the mind. Cultivation in this state can achieve twice the result with half the effort. Soon, the information of today's prodigal product emerged from Yifeng's mind. It's interesting, there is still such a thing, I don't know if lighting this Jingshan incense will make me sleep more comfortable. Yifeng also pondered at this time. After all, there are only 100 Jingshan incense sticks, and the sooner you can get the reward for the prodigal point. Outside the courtyard, according to my observations in the past few days, Yifeng, this kid, will always come up with some good things every morning to save his family. At the beginning of the Star Soul sect, he used 10,000 Yellow Springs sword intent fragments for his dog in the morning. After that, on the way back to the sect, he started throwing top-grade spirit stones in the early morning, at least around 100,000. Yesterday, he got out the terrifying corpse of a terrifying purple thunder lion, and it was also in the morning. So I suspect that this prodigal son wakes up every morning, and if he doesn't order something good from the prodigal family, he will not be in a good mood that day. Luo Wuming also expressed his own conjecture to the 5 ancestors beside him. Yifeng never imagined that the first thing he did when he woke up every day was to get rid of the prodigal product of the day, but Luo Wuming noticed it, and instead regarded his behavior as a prodigal habit. What is the taste? At this moment, Several people suddenly smelled a special aroma, and the source was in the courtyard house where Yifeng currently lived. Jingshenxiang, and definitely not ordinary Jingshenxiang. A few seconds later, when Luo Tianxing noticed some changes in his mind, he couldn't help but swear, and even rushed towards the house in the courtyard. Pong! Yifeng, who was lighting the 33rd incense stick, was suddenly startled by the sound of violently smashing the door. Seeing the wooden door that was smashed into pieces, Yifeng's mentality collapsed. Why are these people always competing with the wooden door? Hiss. After rushing into the house and inhaling the rich aroma of tranquility in the house, Luo Tianxing's anxious and irritable state of mind was instantly calmed down. Luo Wuming and the other 4 ancestors who followed behind, the moment they entered the house, the various expressions on their faces gradually disappeared, revealing an extremely calm look. Master, the 5 ancestors, who are you? Seeing the 6 people who came in, Yifeng was also confused. What was he doing here in the morning? It really is Jing Shenxiang. Yifeng, what kind of spiritual wood are these incense sticks made of? Luo Tianxing looked at Yifeng very calmly and asked. The mysterious tree of the 10,000 years underworld god. After Yifeng heard this, he answered directly. Oh. The mysterious tree of the 10,000 years underworld god, it's not bad, it's really good. After Luo Tianxing heard it, he said with a flat expression, but his heart was already crazy, but his mind was suppressed by the power of Jing Shenxiang, which made him unable to raise all kinds of emotions. Just nice. It seems that the mysterious tree of the 10,000 years underworld god is not a good idea. Thinking back to the previous master and the 5 ancestors, whether it was Epiphany Pill, Golden Silkworm Xingyao Shi, the corpse of the Mad Lion of the Purple Thunder, or the blood essence of the Mad Lion of the Purple Thunder, knowing that he wanted to lose his family, his expression and emotion were simply impossible. Compared with the calm appearance now, he feels that today's Prodigal product is a bit poor. How does Yifeng know that the emotions of the 6 people in the house are being suppressed by the power of Jingshenxiang? This alone is enough to prove how terrifying the Jingshenxiang created by the mysterious tree of the 10,000 years is. Good fun. This is so funny. When they heard Yifeng's words, the 6 of them showed a wry smile, but they soon returned to their calm demeanor. Whether it was their expression or their inner emotional fluctuations, as long as something was different, they would immediately be affected by Jing Shenxiang's power. Point. Since it is a broken thing, Yifeng naturally doesn't care more, and quickly starts to light all the remaining 67 incense sticks that have been arranged. Seeing the whole 100 incense sticks burning in front of their eyes, the hearts of the 6 people are bleeding. Jingshan incense. If the power of Jingshan incense, one can burn for at least an hour, and the effect produced by one is enough to cover the entire house, which can make more than 10 people cultivate in this state of peace of mind. But Yifeng actually ignited 100 of them. This is simply a prodigal. 1 and 100 have the same effect. This is not a prodigal. Anxious, heartache, go crazy. Various emotions kept appearing in the hearts of the 6 people, but they were constantly suppressed by the power of Jingshan incense. Seeing 100 sticks of Jingshan incense burning continuously, for the 6 people, this was simply a kind of torture. This prodigal son, after igniting 100 such precious incense sticks, went to bed. Is he trying to piss me off? Seeing Yifeng lying on the bed and continuing to sleep, Luo Tianxing was very angry, but as soon as he felt angry, he was suppressed by Jing Shenxiang's power. I cannot stand it anymore. In the end, Luo Tianxing couldn't stand the torture and ran out of the house directly, and even retreated to a place 300 meters away from the house, and finally got rid of the effect of Jing Shenxiang. Yifeng, you are a prodigal son, you are a real prodigal. Finally able to vent his repressed emotions, Luo Tianxing roared directly at Yifeng's residence. Call. After venting, Luo Tianxing felt that the whole person was much more relaxed, and Luo Wuming and the other 4 ancestors who had quit together also laughed bitterly at this time. Not to mention the 10,000-year-old mysterious tree of the underworld god. In the heavenly Dao battlefield, I have never seen one that is more than 5,000 years old. Moreover, feeling the terrifying effect of the Jingshan incense, I guess that those Jingshan incenses are likely to be made from the tree heart of the 10,000-year-old underworld god profound tree, so the preciousness will be raised by several levels again. The second ancestor Lao Zhang Haoyu, who was very experienced in spiritual herbs, spirit mines, spirit trees, etc., also showed a very painful look in his eyes at this time. Laughing as Yi Feng, crying as Yi Feng. Forget it, after all, it's all Yi Feng's own things, and we have also gained a lot of benefits. I won't be bothered if I don't see it. I will definitely not come back in the future. After saying this, Luo Tianxing turned around and left quickly. Let's go. Sect has Yi Feng and it feels like a complete transfer, but his habit of being arrogant and prodigal, hey. Zhang Haoyu sighed and turned to leave. I really don't know where this kid got so many babies that make me wait and see, I'm envious. After the other 3 ancestors muttered at this time, they also turned and left here. 5 great ancestors, if you can't change it, it's better to close your eyes and enjoy it. Hearing Luo Wuming's words, the footsteps of the 5 patriarchs stopped. Soon, the 5 ancestors and Luo Wuming all came to the lotus position under the corner of the outer wall of Yi Feng's house and sat next to each other. 50 minutes later, the 6 people woke up from the cultivation state and looked at each other with a look of joy in their eyes. Although it was only a short 50 minutes, they all benefited a lot. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the consumption of today's Prodigal products, and rewarding the Jingshenxiang 200 created by the mysterious tree of the 10,000 years. Just finished 100 and rewarded me with 200. The system is a real dog. Even the ancestors don't like this shit. No wonder they gave me double the reward. Thinking of this, Yi Feng wanted to find a place to throw away these 200 Jingshen incense sticks. He was a prodigal. How could he keep this kind of shit in his hands? Yi Feng left the house and saw Luo Wuming and the 5 ancestors in a row in the corner, and his expression was also stunned. It's a throwaway anyway, let the ancestors and the others help me deal with it. Thinking of this, Yi Feng walked up to a few people, then threw 200 spiritual incense sticks on the ground in front of Luo Tianxing, and then went back to the house to continue to sleep. What's the situation? Everyone looked at the 200 incense sticks in front of Luo Tianxing, all stunned in place. Everyone, why do I always feel like I've become a beggar? Also, Yi Feng, this stinky boy, threw down 200 incense sticks, but didn't say anything. What does this mean? After Luo Tianxing reacted, he looked at the other people with a confused look and asked. Wait a moment, Luo Wuming, who has been thinking, suddenly exclaimed at this moment. Seeing that they all looked at the 5 great ancestors of On, Luo Wuming suddenly lowered his voice and said, Elder Great Ancestor, I still remember that you said that the fragrance of tranquility went against your heart because of the effect of tranquility, and Yi Feng said something after listening to it. Crap, doesn't that mean that he really took this Jingshenxiang as a piece of shit, so he just threw it to us to deal with? Hearing Luo Wuming's bold conjecture, the 5 ancestors were also shocked, because they felt that this conjecture really made sense. Why don't I try it? Thinking of this, Luo Tianxing got up and walked to the door of the room. Looking at Yi Feng lying on the bed, he said indifferently, Yi Feng, can I help you deal with these quiet fragrances? Old ancestor, I have trouble for you. Hurry up and dispose of these broken things for me, or I will find a place and throw them away. These broken things have simply lost my identity as a prodigal. After speaking, Yi Feng ignored Luo Tianxing and fell asleep again with the comfortable quilt. Brothers, run! After Luo Tianxing heard it, he shouted to the few people in the corner with an excited look, and then quickly ran towards the back mountain. Back mountain, cultivation immortal cave. After Luo Tianxing gave each of the other 4 great ancestors 20 incense sticks, he looked at Luo Wuming, but he directly put away the remaining 120 incense sticks with a serious expression on his face. Said, Luo Wuming, what are you looking at? I don't have your share. Hearing this, Luo Wuming cried. It was obvious that everyone was begging there together, so why didn't you have my share? It's okay to give me 10. Dage, why don't we go to the corner of Yi Feng's house every morning to squat and beg for money? No matter what he asks, we will treat it as broken stuff, and then it will all be ours. At this time, the 5th ancestor, Chu Yunshan, seemed to have found the traffic password to get rich. Although begging sounds awkward, if you can get this kind of baby, daddy would rather be a beggar. The 4th patriarch Cheng Xingfei looked at the 20 Jingshen incense sticks in his hand, his eyes were full of eagerness to try, and he could not wait to run to the corner of Yi Feng's residence and squat. It turns out that begging can really make you rich. The third ancestor Lao Sao Minfang and the second ancestor Lao Zhong Haoyu could not help but sigh at this time. Hearing the words of several people, Luo Tianxing did not react, because he knew that this was just a few people talking casually. It is impossible to lie to Yi Feng. After all, Yi Feng has good things, but they will be given to them. There is no need to obtain it by such despicable means. As for this time, it wasn't the original intention, and they didn't say that this thing was broken, nor did they admit that it was a broken thing. It was Yi Feng's own opinion, and Yi Feng gave it to them anyway. In fact, what they are most worried about is telling the truth. Maybe Yi Feng will say something, then I have to keep 100 of them back for my dogs to smell, which is more uncomfortable than killing them. Okay, Yi Feng will go to the Heavenly Dao Battlefield Teleportation Tower tomorrow. Luo Wuming, you will lead the team tomorrow, and you must ensure Yi Feng's safety. By the way, don't follow the sect army, you take him to the Heavenly Dao Battlefield Teleportation Tower alone. Luo Tianxing looked at Luo Wuming with a serious face and said. Old ancestor, I know. Luo Wuming replied quickly. One day, under Yi Feng's forced sleep, it was finally over. When Yi Feng woke up again, his eyes were finally no longer sluggish, but full of anticipation, because he was going to the Heavenly Dao battlefield today, and he finally didn't have to forcefully sleep every day. Look at what the Prodigal product is today. Yi Feng skillfully checked the products of today's Prodigal. Prodigal product. Second rank 9th order prison dungeon talisman 10,000. Dungeon talisman. It can condense a dungeon to trap the enemy in it. Interesting, although it's not attacking the talisman, but I'm not in a hurry, maybe it will bring me some fun when I arrive at the Heavenly Dao battlefield. After Yi Feng learned about today's Prodigal products, he looked forward to the Heavenly Dao battlefield even more. After all, when he teleported to the second stage Heavenly Dao battlefield, all of them were purely aerodynamic cultivators or demonic beasts. Outside the house, Yi Feng, the prodigal son, left today, and I don't know if he can get more benefits. Luo Tianxing, who was squatting in the corner, was full of anticipation, but at this time, there was a smug look on his face, because he came here quietly today, but he didn't tell the other four ancestors. This kind of begging for losing face, let him, it's enough for him to be a dage. However, when Luo Tianxing was still complacent, the figure of the second ancestor, Lao Zhong Haoyu, appeared not far away. When both of them saw each other, their faces became slightly embarrassed. Second child, it's too much. Seeing Zhong Haoyu, who was squatting silently beside him, actually took out a brand new bowl from his arms and put it in front of him, Luo Tianxing's face twitched uncontrollably, and even felt extremely regretful in his heart. Why didn't he expect this? Anyway, I have pulled my face down to beg, is there a bowl left? Dage, do you want to reach an agreement? If we can get something in Yi Feng's hands today, no matter who gets it, we will share half of it. Zhong Haoyu suddenly proposed at this time. Just when Luo Tianxing was about to nod his head in agreement, a sneaky figure appeared again not far away. When they saw the third ancestor, Cao Minfang, they both covered their foreheads and felt helpless. A competitor. Dage, second brother, don't mind third brother coming to join in the fun. Seeing the two of them, Cao Minfang was also taken aback for a moment, squatting down beside Zhong Haoyu with a look of embarrassment, and even took out a broken bowl with a missing corner from his arms. Third, it's too much. Seeing the broken bowl with missing corners, Luo Tianxing and Zhong Haoyu questioned in unison. Not long after, the fourth ancestor Cheng Xingfei and the fifth ancestor Chu Yunshan also came here. Zhong Haoyu brought a brand new bowl. Cao Minfang brought a broken bowl with a missing corner. Cheng Xingfei not only brought a broken bowl with a missing corner, but the Taoist robe he was wearing was still patched. Chu Yunshan not only has a broken bowl with missing corners and a patched robe, but his hair is turned into a chicken coop, and his face is even more dirty. Seeing the situation of the four of them, Luo Tianxing went crazy. He was just begging. Do you want to be like this? That guy Yi Feng knows to sleep all day. Today is the day to go to the Heavenly Dao Battlefield Teleportation Tower. I have to get him up early. However, when Luo Wuming approached Yi Feng's residence, he suddenly turned around and walked away quickly after seeing the five great ancestors squatting in a row in the corner. I didn't see it, I didn't see anything at all. Crazy, the five ancestors are completely crazy. Luo Wuming recalled the appearance of the 5 ancestors just now, especially the costume of the 5th ancestor Chu Yunshan that was no weaker than the real beggar, and felt that the 5 ancestors were really spoiled by Yi Feng. 10 minutes later, when Yi Feng finished washing in the house and walked out the door, he looked at the 5 ancestors squatting in a row in the corner, especially from the 2nd ancestor to the 5th ancestor, and there was a bowl in front of him, and he also looked at him with a face confused. What are you doing? What are the 5 ancestors doing? Experience the beggar's life to temper the mood. Besides, Yi Feng couldn't think of any other reason. However, why did the tempering mood come to me? Do you want me to select the most qualified person? Thinking of this, Yi Feng checked back and forth on the body of the 5 patriarchs, and finally walked to the front of the 5 patriarchs Chu Yunshan, took out 10 drops of purple thunder lion blood essence and put it into the broken bowl. I'm so tired. The 5 great ancestors tempered their mood. Not only did I have to cooperate with their performances, but I also had to pay out of my own pocket to make them feel like a real beggar. Where can I find a disciple as good as me? Afterwards, Yi Feng left the courtyard directly, ready to find Luo Wuming, and then rushed to the Heavenly Dao battlefield as soon as possible, which had made him bored these days. Ha ha ha, it's done, this method really works. After Yi Feng left, Chu Yunshan couldn't help but burst into laughter when he looked at the blood essence, the big demon with 10 drops of purple thunder and lion in the broken bowl. It's a mistake, this time it's a mistake, but next time it's up to you to do your best. Looking at the proud Chu Yunshan, Luo Tianxing thought to himself. Not long after, Yi Feng just found Luo Wuming who was wandering around. Yi Feng, did you see the 5 great ancestors when you came out? Luo Wuming saw Yi Feng appearing here, and he also asked curiously. He also wanted to know if the situation of the 5 ancestors could really beg something good from Yi Feng. I see. The 5 great ancestors deserve to be the pinnacle powerhouses of the 9th stage in the transcends tribulation realm. In order to hone their own state of mind, they all dressed up as beggars, wanting to experience the life of beggars. Although they didn't say anything, I understood it all, and I cooperated well with them. I gave out 10 drops of blood essence, out of my own pocket, in the bowl of the 5th patriarch, who was most like a beggar. Hearing Luo Wuming's question, Yi Feng also smiled and explained. Puff. Hearing this, Luo Wuming almost didn't spit out a mouthful of old blood. What a tempering state of God to pretend to be a beggar. They were begging from you, and whoever told you that the things in your hands are rare treasures for them, otherwise how could they be embarrassed? As a result, you think they are tempering their mood, and then cooperate with them. Do you know that the cooperation you think will make them misunderstand and make them even crazier in the future? Taking a deep breath, Luo Wuming didn't give any explanation. He didn't think about what would happen in the future. It was just a joke anyway. Master, are all sect disciples ready? When are we going to the Heavenly Dao battlefield teleportation tower? Yi Feng asked impatiently. You can go anytime, we won't go with the team, I will personally take you to the Heavenly Dao battlefield teleportation tower alone. Why are you looking at me like that? After finishing speaking, Luo Wuming found that Yi Feng was staring at him with a strange look, which made him look a little hairy. Master, then you sacrificed the flying sword. I'm all ready, let's hurry up now. Yi Feng said directly with a knowing look. Then you say it directly, what are you staring at me with that kind of eyes, it makes me look gross. Luo Wuming was also insane, no more to say, he directly sacrificed the flying sword, took Yi Feng to the sky, and left sect directly. Let's go, although this kid has only been here for a few days, but after he left, I still miss him. Yeah, it is our sect's luck that this kid can join our Xingji sect. As soon as he leaves, I am afraid that he will directly return to the Star Soul sect founded by Holy Maiden. The power of the Guardian formation has increased tenfold, and it is still open all the time. Why don't we go to the Star Soul sect? Hearing the words of the 4 great ancestors, Luo Tianxing's face became darker and darker, and finally he couldn't help cursing. Can you 4 old fellows have some old faces? Even if you are begging in this sect, you still want to catch up. Star Soul sect can't beg. Dage, after the 4 of us are gone, the sect will be handed over to you. Dage, as expected of you, I really think about us little brothers. Dage, when we beg for good things, we will definitely leave some for you, so you can rest assured to guard the sect here. Dage, thank you so much, it's all in the bowl. Boom. Hearing the words of the four, Luo Tianxing was instantly furious, and the violent aura swept all around, staring at the four ancestors and roaring. Let me stay in this sect, no one wants to go to the Star Soul sect, I said, otherwise, you will be at your own risk. Seeing the furious Luo Tianxing, the four elders looked at each other and sighed helplessly. They all felt like they had lost some treasure after being separated from Yifeng for a day. The other side. Master, are the demonic beasts on the Xuantian continent different from the demonic beasts in the Heavenly Dao battlefield? I came from the Star Soul sect to this Star Extreme sect, and I haven't encountered a single demonic beasts in the 2 days' journey. Where are they? Above the flying sword, Yifeng asked boredly. The demonic beasts in the Heavenly Dao battlefield are stronger than the demonic beasts on the Xuantian continent, and they are much stronger. Even if it is the same race and the same realm demonic beasts, the demonic beasts in the Heavenly Dao battlefield are enough to easily fight against the demonic beasts on the three-headed Xuantian continent, and the same is true for us cultivators. So, in the Heavenly Dao battlefield, if you encounter realm demonic beasts, at least 3 people must join forces to fight. As for why we haven't encountered demonic beasts, we haven't encountered cultivators. The Xuantian continent is very big, and it's not that easy to encounter. When Luo Wuming heard Yifeng's question, he patiently explained it. After half a day, Luo Wuming protected Yifeng behind him, looking at the smiling young man in white, his expression was extremely solemn. Big monster. The lowest is also the big demon of the 9th stage in the transcends tribulation realm. Yifeng, I will hold him back for a while, and you will run away with all your strength. Luo Wuming lowered his voice and said to Yifeng behind him. You think you can hold me back? You think he can escape from me? The young man in white looked at Luo Wuming with disdain on his face, and sneered directly. So, how about we make an interesting deal? As long as you can come up with what makes my heart flutter, I'll let you go away safely. Without starting immediately, the young man in white seemed to have thought of something interesting, watching Luo Wuming and Yifeng continue to speak. Humph, do you think I will believe the words of a big demon like you? Luo Wuming snorted coldly after hearing this. Demonic beasts never pay attention to what they say. Brush. However, just as Luo Wuming was about to make a move, and at the same time let Yifeng not care about anything and desperately fled, the 10 drops of the big demon blood essence turned into 10 red streamers and shot out from behind him, heading straight for the young man in white on the opposite side. Yifeng, are you crazy? How can you believe the words of such a big monster? They can't be believed at all. This is just a trick to play with us, and seeing that you have such a treasure in your hand, it is even more impossible for him to let you go. Blood essence is extremely important even to demonic beasts. Luo Wuming turned to look at Yifeng. The whole person was going crazy, and now it was even more impossible for the other party to let Yifeng go. Master, it would be even better if I lied to us. At that time, I will kill myself, just a demonic beasts, don't worry about it at all, I have everything. Looking at Luo Wuming who was anxious, Yifeng patted him on the shoulder and gave him a reassurance directly. Luo Wuming was stunned after hearing this, and then the anxious expression gradually turned dull. Others didn't believe what others said, but Yifeng's words, he believed, for no reason. On the other hand, looking at the young man in white on the opposite side, he felt the supreme monster chi emanating from the 10 drops of the great demon blood essence in his hand, and his whole body trembled with fright. He is indeed a big demon at the peak of the 9th stage in the transcends tribulation realm, and even a big demon who has survived 2 heavenly Dao thunder tribulations. But the more they get to their level, the more fearful they are about some things. What kind of rubbish are the 2 humans on the opposite side, especially Yifeng, who is the pinnacle of 9th stage? But it is such a person who actually has 10 drops of the great demon blood essence in his hand, and this big demon is the one who has endured 9 heavenly Dao thunder tribulations. That is the existence he has to look up to. He didn't believe it by chance, because he didn't dare to gamble. You go. In the end, the young man in white decided to let the 2 of them leave. He didn't want to bring danger to himself, even if it was only possible. Yifeng and Luo Wuming were both stunned when they heard the words of the young man in white. Demonic beasts actually kept their word. There was an incredible look in the eyes of both of them. Let's go. No matter if what he said is true or not, let's go first. Luo Wuming stared at the white-clothed young man, reaching out and grabbing it behind him, thinking about taking Yifeng to escape immediately, but whoever thought about it but grabbed it empty. Walk. How can you go? Yifeng finally encountered a demonic beast. How can he go without knowing the demeanor of the big demon? Moreover, Yifeng also thought about how the Prodigal guards would appear in a gorgeous way when he was in danger. Look, I still have 50 drops of the big demon blood essence here. As long as you kill me, these are yours. If you don't kill me, then I'll take out the baby. That's enough to make you crazy and force you to do it. In a dignified fantasy world, I have been a loser for some time now. I have never encountered a crisis, and when I finally encountered one, Yifeng must cherish it. Petal, petal, petal. However, looking at the 50 drops of the big demon blood essence that Yifeng took out again, the young man in white was frightened and took a few steps backwards, and even a trace of fear appeared in his eyes. Guess it right. The other party is definitely not an ordinary person, and it is even very likely that there is a super terrifying boss nearby watching all this in the dark. As long as he dares to do it, the other party will directly kill him. Looking at Yifeng, who was not nervous, but kept provoking him, the young man in white threw back the 10-drop demon blood essence in his hands, and then the clothes on his body cracked instantly, turning into his body and rushing straight into the sky, blinking his eyes. It disappeared from the sight of the two of them. What a big mantis! Seeing the young man in white transformed into a huge mantis 3 meters high and covered in blood red, Yifeng couldn't help but sigh. It was the first time he had seen such a big mantis. With that slender body, the two handsome blood-colored big knives on the forelimbs, the strong legs, and the fan-shaped wings as thin as jade, Yifeng instantly fell in love with this handsome monster. The only thing that is different from the mantis in the previous life is that the opponent only has 2 forelimbs and 2 hind feet, and does not have as many legs as the mantis in the previous life. It is simply a walking blood-colored mantis. Blood-devouring mantis. On the side, Luo Wuming also exclaimed and said the name of the big demon. Master, do you know these demonic beasts? When Yifeng heard the name, he wanted to keep the other party as a pet even more because the names were so handsome. Blood-devouring mantis. Demonic beast's bloodline is extremely powerful. The cultivation method is unique. As long as there is a steady stream of powerful blood, they can continue to become stronger. They are extremely difficult and powerful demonic beasts. Luo Wuming briefly introduced the situation of the blood-devouring mantis. Master, can you catch up with the other party? Knowing the situation of the blood-devouring mantis, Yifeng hurriedly asked. There was no way. The Prodigal guards can only appear when he is in danger, and they can only help him solve the crisis. This kind of coolie chasing pets has to rely on Luo. Just be anonymous. I do have a secret technique that can make my speed skyrocket in a short period of time. Not only does it require huge spirit stones, but the longer I continue the secret technique, the greater the backlash I suffer after the secret technique ends. Although it is not fatal, but it will take a while to recuperate. Wait. Why are you asking this? After speaking, Luo Wuming suddenly looked at Yifeng, and for some unknown reason, an ominous premonition suddenly appeared in his heart. Master, give spirit stones to me. You quickly take me to catch up. I want to take him back as a pet. No, it is a pet of war. Yifeng heard that Luo Wuming had a solution, and with a happy face, he directly took out dozens of top-grade spirit crystals and urged. Crazy. This is really crazy. You want to take such a big monster as a pet of war? Forget it, this stinky boy must have something to rely on. In this case, Master Shi will accompany you to go crazy once. Taking over dozens of top-quality spirit crystals, Luo Wuming sacrificed the flying sword, and took Yifeng to directly cast the secret technique. The two of them turned into a white sword ray with one sword and rose from the ground, and fled towards the blood-devouring mantis with all their strength, chase in the direction. Am I being a little too cautious? What if the other party really got it by accident? A big monster of this level is an existence that can soar to the upper realm at any time. How could it be easily killed? After escaping for a while, the blood-devouring mantis gradually slowed down and even started to blame himself. Catch up, finally catch up. Big demon, let's fight a battle. If you lose, be a pet for daddy. However, when Yifeng's excited shout came from behind, the blood-devouring mantis was shocked all over. The fan-shaped wings suddenly waved, and it turned into a blood-colored streamer and ran away at a high speed. Be cautious, Everyone is catching up. The blood-devouring mantis panicked at this time, and his eyes were full of endless fear. Blood-devouring mantis, don't run away. Let's fight with real swords and guns. We lose, you can kill us at will. If you lose, you can be my pet. How about it? With the help of the secret technique and the steady stream of spiritual crystals, even if the strength gap was huge, Luo Wuming caught up with the blood-devouring mantis fleeing at a high speed, and Yifeng also looked at the blood-devouring mantis flying side by side with a serious face and said his own ratio. Fight. Do not hit. The 10 drops of the big demon blood essence have been returned to you, please let me go. Looking at Yifeng with a serious face next to him, the blood-devouring mantis is going crazy. If the other party has no confidence, dare to chase after him and challenge him. Even if he could directly attack Luo Wuming now, he wouldn't dare. Yifeng, hurry up and think of a way, I can't hold it anymore. Luo Wuming lowered his voice and hurriedly reminded. Master, do your best to surpass the opponent, and then throw me alone. The opponent can't stop immediately at such a fast speed. Then I will have a crisis, then everything will be solved. When Yifeng heard this, he pondered for 3 seconds, and quickly expressed his own thoughts. If there is no crisis, you have to create a crisis yourself. And Luo Wuming also began to speed up again, and at the same time remembered one thing in his heart, that is, Yifeng is in crisis, and it is very likely that a major event beyond his imagination will occur. Yifeng, be careful. More than 10 meters away from the blood-devouring mantis, Luo Wuming came directly to a straight line of the blood-devouring mantis, and then pushed Yifeng out of the flying sword, and he stepped on the flying sword and quickly fell. 10 meters away. The current terrifying flight speed of the blood-devouring mantis is only in the blink of an eye. Before Yifeng's body fell, the blood-devouring mantis with a dazed face had already appeared in front of him, and the terrifying forward force was enough to make him directly crash Yifeng's fragile body into a cloud of blood. Stop hurting my lord. At this critical juncture, a terrifying aura instantly enveloped the space, whether it was the blood-devouring mantis that continued to charge forward or Luo Wuming, who was rapidly falling below. At this moment, all of them stood still, except for the eyeballs. The child can turn, and the whole body cannot move at all. A burly man wearing a golden armor tore through the space and appeared directly in front of the 2-in-1 monster. As the big man in golden armor walked towards Yifeng step by step, all the spaces he passed through collapsed, extremely terrifying. Seeing this scene, the blood-devouring mantis was already frightened, and his eyes were full of tears of remorse. Why did he come to provoke this terrifying human being? If he didn't provoke the other party, where would he encounter this fatal crisis? Boom, boom, boom. At this moment, thunder exploded in the air, and the thunder tribulation exuding endless heavenly power quickly condensed in the air. Noisy. The golden-armored man slammed his head up to look at the cloud of robbery condensed in the air, shouted angrily, a golden light flashed in his hand, and he swung the golden sword toward the cloud of robbery in the air. Boom. A golden saber aura of hundreds of meters in length ripped apart the space, directly slicing Jayan in half with its indomitable might. Incite thunder tribulation. Rip space. This golden-armored man is a strong man in the upper realm. Crazy. Luo Wuming, who saw this scene below, almost didn't stare straight out of his eyes, and he didn't even dare to speculate on Yifeng's identity now. Han, in the upper realm, is probably an extremely terrifying existence. Cried. The nearest blood-devouring mantis was already scared to tears at this time. The breath of the robbery cloud just now was more terrifying than the 9th heavenly Dao thunder robbery. As a result, Tetsu was cut in half with a single knife. What a terrifying existence he has provoked. My lord, are you obliterating the current crisis? The strong man in golden armor came to Yifeng, knelt down on one knee and asked in a very respectful manner. Are you a member of the Prodigal Guard? Are you the only one? Yifeng looked at the domineering guard members who were wearing golden armor and asked curiously. My lord, according to the crisis you are currently experiencing, I alone are enough to solve it. There are thousands of members of the Prodigal Guard, and different numbers of members will be decided according to your crisis situation. The strong man in golden armor explained respectfully. Crazy, crazy. There are thousands of terrifying golden-armored men in front of me. You are nothing but an aura. Should your identity be so terrifying? I'm already scared to death. The blood-devouring mantis, who heard the conversation between the two, was already scared crazy. That's it. Okay, the crisis here has been lifted. You can go back first. If he wants to kill me again, come over again, no trouble. Yi Feng looked at the strong man in golden armor and asked directly. No trouble, it is my honor to be able to serve my lord. After speaking, the strong man in golden armor got up and glared at the blood-devouring mantis, then he tore the space with his bare hands and disappeared in front of the two demons. Now I give you two choices, either be my pet or die, there is only one chance. Yi Feng looked at the blood-devouring mantis kneeling in front of him at this time, and directly gave a choice. Although he liked this blood-devouring mantis very much, if the other party didn't know the good or bad, he was not in the mood to be used to the other party. The big deal is to catch individual blood-devouring mantises in the future, not necessarily the other party. Seeing the strange blood inscriptions that suddenly appeared out of thin air in front of him, Yi Feng was also confused, completely unable to understand what it was. Heavenly Dao Blood Pact. As long as you drop a drop of blood on this Heavenly Dao blood contract, everything about this monster will be in your hands. At this moment, Luo Wuming, who flew up again with his flying sword, explained it out loud. Seeing that Yi Feng quickly completed the recognition of the Heavenly Dao blood pact, Luo Wuming was somewhat envious of the blood-devouring mantis in front of him. If he could follow Yi Feng, the prodigal god, there would no longer be an upper limit to the opponent's achievements. Hurry up again, but this time Yi Feng and Luo Wuming both sat on the body of the blood-devouring mantis. After all, Luo Wuming used a secret technique, and now they need a good rest. Not to mention that the speed of the blood-devouring mantis is many times faster than his Yujian. Yi Feng, who are you? After a while, Luo Wuming couldn't help being curious and looked at Yi Feng and asked. Master, I am me, Master's direct disciple. Hearing this, Yi Feng didn't want to explain too much, because he couldn't explain it clearly, it would be better to show his identity in one sentence. Ha ha ha, Luo Wuming was stunned after hearing this, and then he couldn't help laughing. He didn't continue to ask Yi Feng's identity, but he knew that with Yi Feng, the Xingji sect was really going to take off. Time passed, and after the day gradually dimmed, the 2-in-1 demon finally arrived in front of the Heavenly Dao battlefield teleportation tower closest to Xingjizong. At this time, the blood-devouring mantis had already transformed into a human form, and Yi Feng didn't want to cause too much sensation here. Master, there are really enough people here. Looking at the dense crowd gathered in front of the teleportation tower, Yi Feng said in surprise. That's natural. Although the Heavenly Dao battlefield is extremely dangerous, each realm has a separate battlefield space, and the risk factor has been reduced a lot, especially with the strength of the current realm peak. The safety factor has been greatly increased. Go to Heavenly, there are naturally countless people looking for opportunities and acquiring cultivation resources on the Dao battlefield. Luo Wuming explained with a smile. Yi Feng also nodded after hearing this, just like a monster like him, who went to the second stage Heavenly Dao battlefield, not to mention the existence of invincibility, it is also a top boss. After all, his strength is already the second stage Heavenly Dao, the ceiling in the battlefield, unless it is besieged by hundreds or thousands of equal realm opponents. System, if I go to the Heavenly Dao battlefield, can the prodigal guard appear when I encounter danger? Yi Feng thought of something at this time, and directly asked the system. Ding! The prodigal guards completely ignore the Heavenly Dao battlefield laws and can come at any time. Cow Batch. Hearing the system's answer, Yi Feng also praised without hesitation. Xiao Shui, you will escort the master back to sect in a while, you don't need to wait for me here. Yi Feng looked at the blood-devouring mantis and said directly. Good host. The blood-devouring mantis responded respectfully. Luo Wuming, who was on the side, also had mixed feelings at this time. He had been escorted by the great demon who had been escorted by 2 Heavenly Dao Thunder Tribulations. He didn't even dare to think about this kind of treatment. He has survived 5 Heavenly Dao Thunder Tribulations, and the 5th ancestor, Chu Yunshan, has only survived 3, only one more than this big demon. Seeing that Yi Feng followed the crowd into the Heavenly Dao battlefield teleportation tower, Luo Wuming also directly greeted the blood-devouring mantis to return directly to the Xingji sect. Now he can't wait to inform the 5 ancestors of the news immediately. After all, with the addition of the blood-devouring mantis, for sect in terms of, it is definitely a huge strength improvement. When Yifeng entered the entrance of the teleportation tower, after a trance, he found that he had come to an unfamiliar space. The bloody full moon hangs high in the sky. The whole space has a desolate smell, and there is a faint bloody smell in the air, which makes people feel extremely uncomfortable. Is this the Heavenly Dao battlefield? Yifeng checked the unfamiliar environment and felt that the environment here was very poor, and it was very uncomfortable to stay there. Brother, this is the first time to come to Heavenly Dao battlefield. At this moment, a playful voice suddenly sounded from behind Yifeng. Yes, this is my first time to the Heavenly Dao battlefield. Turning around, Yifeng did not hide the fact that he came in for the first time when he saw a fatty young man who appeared on the opposite side. Forehead. However, these words directly stunned the opposite fatty. It's your first time here, I'm just cheating you, you really admit it, aren't you afraid of killing you after being found out by others? Should I say you are innocent or stupid? Fatty Li Fei was also extremely speechless at this time, and he was going to say a lot of words next, but because of Yifeng's frankness, he was stunned. What strength are you? Do you want my buddy to take you with me? I'm a regular customer of the Heavenly Dao battlefield. After slowing down, Li Fei looked at Yifeng with a simple face and asked again. The pinnacle of the 9th stage. Yifeng didn't care whether the other party was a human or a demon, and he didn't care whether the other party was from the Xuantian continent. He just wanted to see what the other party wanted to do. If there was no hostility, it would be fine to play with it. If there was any hostility, then kill it. Yes. Thinking that he has been in this fantasy world for a while, and he has not even killed anyone, Yifeng feels that he has lost face to the army of transmigrators. Li Fei was originally planning to kill people and win treasures, but knowing the strength of the opponent, his face changed slightly. Although he also has the same strength, he can't guarantee whether the opponent has a strong trump card. I didn't expect that the first time you came to the Heavenly Dao battlefield, there was no old man with you. How about we form a team to fight together, and what about all the resources we get? Li Fei also immediately changed his plan at this time. He was going to form a team with the opponent temporarily, by the way, to see the real strength of the opponent. If they are not equal, it would be good to form a team together. If it is not as good as him, let him be confident that he can successfully kill the other party, then he doesn't mind killing people and stealing treasures. Okay, Yifeng didn't care what the opponent's purpose was, but having someone who was familiar with the Heavenly Dao battlefield by his side could help him understand the Heavenly Dao battlefield faster. 5 minutes later, demonic beasts iron-backed rats, the strength is between the 5th stage and the 8th stage of the Qi realm, and the number is about 300. Brother Yifeng, do you want to compare? Looking at the demonic beasts group in the distance, Li Fei smiled and started the competition, but he actually wanted to see Yifeng's strength. Okay, saying that, a large number of prison talismans appeared in Yifeng's hands instantly. Question mark, question mark, question mark. What are you doing? It's just a test. What are you doing with so many talismans, and all of them are all second-rank 9th order talismans? Feeling the breath emanating from those talismans, Li Fei, who was beside him, was dumbfounded. As Yifeng threw out all the prison talismans in his hand, one appeared in his hand again, and then threw it out again. After throwing it several times, the more than 300 iron-backed rats not far away were all trapped in the dungeon condensed by the earth spirit power, and no matter how hard they struggled, they could not shake the dungeon at all. Yifeng skillfully borrowed an extremely sharp long sword from the system, and walked directly to the demonic beasts group of iron-backed rats that were all trapped in the dungeon in the distance. Puff, puff, not far away, Li Fei saw Yifeng holding a long sword, killing the iron-backed rat in the dungeon with sword after sword, and the whole person was numb. Dage, the strength of those iron-backed rats, the highest talent stage 8th stage, the lowest talent stage 5th stage, just this kind of garbage demonic beasts, you actually used more than 300 expensive control runes, you are hunting demonic beasts or losing money. Not long after, when Yifeng wiped out all the iron-backed rats, he looked at Li Fei with a proud face and smiled. Brother Li Fei, it seems that I won this competition. 1. Win your sister. Your dungeon, I just tried it, unless I use all my strength, it can't be broken at all. The purpose of cooperating with you to create these dungeons is to prevent me and you from robbing monsters, and the purpose is to win me. There is no bet. Do you want to play so arrogantly? Brother Li Fei, what are you still doing? Let's go. Seeing that Li Fei had no intention of leaving, Yi Feng also urged. Walk. Don't want the demon cores in these demonic beasts. The demonic beast's blood essence extracted from these demonic beasts' corpses is not very valuable, but it is also an income, no. Li Fei looked at Yi Feng with a bewildered expression and directly asked 3 questions. Is that so? I didn't expect you to be so difficult, Li Fei, so I'll give you all these demonic beasts. Saying that, Yi Feng held an extremely sharp sword, like cutting tofu, and cut one dungeon in half, mainly because he didn't want to waste time. It will take at least an hour or 2. Snort. Play it, keep playing it, everyone is here to get resources, the money sold by these demonic beasts is not a small amount for our realm cultivator, I see how long you can play it. Looking at Yi Feng who didn't care, Li Fei started to quickly clean up all demonic beasts, and after a while, all the iron-backed rat corpses were put into the interspatial ring. Hey, you 2 little guys, if you don't want to die, hand over the body of the iron-backed rat just now. However, just as the 2 were about to leave, a man in his 30s with a long cyan stick blocked their way. The intention of robbery was obvious. Pong. After finishing speaking, the cyan long stick in the man's hand suddenly landed on the ground, and a wave of spirit power at the peak of the 9th stage instantly dispersed. It seems that the majority of those who dare to come to the Heavenly Dao battlefield are at the limit of this realm. Feeling the fluctuation of the other party's spirit power, Yi Feng also had a guess in his heart, and then a large number of prison talismans appeared in his hand. Yi Feng didn't want to talk nonsense with the other party, so he threw out more than 10 prison talismans in his hand. A wave of spirit power's spiritual chi fluctuations emerged from the man's body, and then one after another dungeon condensed instantly, trapping the man directly in it. Boom, boom, boom. The man's expression changed slightly, and he didn't have time to think about it. Holding the blue long stick, he released his full strength and began to frantically attack and besiege more than a dozen dungeons. A dungeon, shatter. 2 dungeons, broken. 3 dungeons, broken. ... When the man smashed 13 dungeons one after another, panting as he looked at the last dungeon, the nervous look on his face was finally relieved. Do not. However, when the man saw Yi Feng on the opposite side taking out dozens of prison talismans again, his mind collapsed and he roared with a grim look. Gudong. Seeing the man who was trapped in more than 10 dungeons again, Li Fei at the back swallowed his saliva in shock, and was even more glad that he had not shown any unfriendly behavior to Yi Feng before. What kind of ability is it to rely on this kind of external force? Let me out if you have the kind, let's really fight. The man who was paralyzed in the dungeon roared furiously at Yi Feng who was approaching. Puff. Walking to the dungeon, Yi Feng didn't say any nonsense, and the extremely sharp long sword in his hand directly pierced the opponent's chest. Even if he died, the man's eyes were all rounded, and he didn't believe that he would die so suffocated in the 2nd stage Heavenly Dao battlefield. This is also a ruthless person. Looking at Yi Feng who killed the man, Li Fei was like a place where he got to know each other again. Although the contact time was short, Yi Feng gave him the impression that he was a very kind and simple person. Now it seems that he was completely deceived by the other party's deliberately disguised appearance. It's ridiculous that he always thought that the other party was a rookie. He was afraid that the other party sold him and he didn't know it. Brother Li Fei, hold these talismans. If you encounter this kind of person again, use the talismans to trap them, and then use a sword to deal with them. Yi Feng didn't know how colorful Li Fei's mental activities were at this time. After coming over, he directly stuffed the other party with a lot of prison talismans. He really felt that he was too tired by himself. It was 12 o'clock in the evening in 5 hours, and he still had more than 9,000 talismans to lose. Looking at least hundreds of prison talismans in his hands, even Li Fei's facial muscles couldn't help twitching. He now finally understands why Yi Feng didn't want the corpses of those iron-backed rats demonic beasts, because it's really not bad for that kind of money. 20 minutes later, when they met the demonic beasts group again, Yi Feng and Li Fei stood in the distance and threw the prison talisman without money. Then Yi Feng lent Li Fei an unknown rank from the system. With the long sword, the 2 directly started the easiest journey to slaughter demonic beasts. 4.5 hours later. Ding. Congratulations to the host for defeating today's Prodigal products, rewarding 1000 Prodigal points, and rewarding Epiphany Dan 100. Yi Feng, who was resting on the ground, heard the system prompt sounding in his mind, and a smile finally appeared on the corner of his mouth. He watched Li Fei in the distance with a long sword slaughtering demonic beasts who were trapped in the dungeon one after another. He murmured to himself, there is still someone to help save trouble. It can be said that the remaining more than 6,000 talismans at the back were all used by Li Fei, and he just laid down and rested in the back. Call. With a trace of exhaustion, Li Fei walked back after eliminating all the demonic beasts. He returned the long sword to Yi Feng with a smile on his face, and then stood aside like a younger brother, waiting for Yi Feng to tell him the next itinerary. He is really convinced now. 10,000 talismans. In such a half-night, the two of them had enough 10,000 second-rank 9th-level talismans. He was really defeated by Yi Fenghao's tyrannical methods. How could he dare to be wrong again in his heart? Idea. It is no exaggeration to say that the gains from half the night today are probably not worth 1/20th of the value of the 10,000 second-rank 9th-order talismans. Xiao Fei, I won't let you busy in vain. Take this epiphany pill and take it, and I will protect the law for you. Yi Feng looked at Li Fei, who had worked tirelessly for several hours. No matter what purpose the other party had in approaching him before, but now he was doing things for him honestly. If he didn't give him some rewards, he would be sorry for his status as a prodigal prodigy. Ephemeral Dan. Li Fei looked at the dark medicine pill in his hands, especially the name of the medicine pill, but he was a little flustered. What kind of bullshit epiphany Dan? Can you get epiphany after eating it? What should I do? Could it be a poison pill? But if I don't eat it, will this arrogant and crazy guy kill me directly? Although he was struggling fiercely, it only took a second or two before Li Fei closed his eyes and directly swallowed the medicine pill in his hand. Boom! With the emergence of an epiphany, Li Fei suddenly opened his eyes and looked at Yi Feng with an unbelievable look. Epiphany. He now clearly feels that he has entered the state of epiphany, and what is even more terrifying is that he can do whatever he wants now, and speak as he wants to, and he will not break the state of own epiphany at all, as if this epiphany came to him forcibly. General on the body. Are you stupid? This epiphany can only last for 20 minutes, and you haven't hurry up on cultivation. Looking at his own Li Fei with wide eyes, Yi Feng felt that there was something wrong with the other person's brain. In this case, he didn't hurry up and cultivate, and kept staring at him for what he was doing. Hearing Yi Feng's reminder, Li Fei reacted violently, and quickly sat down to cultivate at lotus position. If I hadn't gotten another 100 epiphany pills, I wouldn't have given it to you. After all, the remaining 20 in my hand were reserved for the dog. Seeing Li Fei who was in the cultivation state, Yi Feng also spoke out of his own accord. 19 minutes later, Li Fei slowly opened his eyes. His eyes were full of endless regrets. The realm of epiphany, even a minute is priceless, but he wasted a minute in vain. He felt heartache thinking of this. Brother Yi, don't say thank you for your great kindness. Li Fei has written down this kindness. If you need anything in the future, just tell me. Li Fei came to Yi Feng at this time and said seriously. Which world are you from? Hearing Li Fei's words, Yi Feng asked curiously. Brother Yi, I am from the heavenly fire realm. After finishing speaking, Li Fei looked at Yi Feng with anticipation, how much he hoped that Yi Feng would be overjoyed at this moment, and shouted that I am also from the heavenly fire realm. Sky fire realm, this is the first time I heard that I am from Xuantian realm. Yi Feng shook his head helplessly, not from the same interface, even if it was agreed when everyone would enter next time, but for the vast battlefield of heavenly Tao, if you want to meet, you have to rely on fate. When Li Fei heard that Yi Feng was from Xuantian realm, his face could not help showing disappointment. He also knew that after this experience was over, he might not meet again next time. There is no day and night change in the heavenly Tao battlefield. The bloody full moon has been hanging high in the sky. Yi Feng doesn't know how long it will take to refresh the prodigal products of the day. More than 10 minutes later, Li Fei seemed to have noticed something and ran towards a 2-meter-high rock not far away. Clang, clang, clang. Taking out a dagger, Li Fei began to frantically knock on the rock with an excited look. Brother Yi, we made a lot of money this time. Spiritual crystals are low-quality spirit crystals, and there are at least 200 or so. After tapping for a while, As the outer surface of the rock shattered, the spiritual crystals inside gradually revealed, and Li Fei directly shouted at Yifeng, who was walking slowly with an excited look. Crazy. Li Fei was so excited that he almost went crazy. This is a low-grade spirit crystal. One low-grade spirit crystal is equivalent to 100 top-grade spirit stones, and more than 200 low-grade spirit crystals are equivalent to 2. There are more than 10,000 top-quality spirit stones. If they were replaced by low-quality spirit stones, it would be a terrifying more than 20 billion pieces. Li Fei had never owned a single top-quality spirit stones when he grew up so big, and now he suddenly got more than 20,000 pieces. How could he not be excited? This is simply a windfall for him. Low-quality spirit crystal. More than 200. Yifeng looked at the excited Li Fei and said casually, "I'll give it to you." Question mark, question mark, question mark. Hearing this, Li Fei was dumbfounded. Don't forget the demon core and corpse of demonic beasts. This is a spirit crystal, don't you want it? Brother Yi, you don't want anything. Can I know why you came to the Heavenly Dao battlefield? Li Feimin looked at Yifeng seriously and asked. Play. Prodigal. I have a lot of good things in my hand. As for spirit stones, Lingjing, etc., there are countless others, so the cultivation resources in this are of no use to me at all. Yifeng didn't hide anything, and directly stated his true thoughts. Hearing this, Li Fei fell silent. Brother Yi, if you want to lose your family, why don't you go to Heavenly Dao City? After a while, Li Fei said something that made Yifeng extremely puzzled. Heavenly Dao City. What's that place? If you don't understand, ask. Yifeng feels that it may be a very interesting place. Heavenly Dao City, the most special existence in the Heavenly Dao battlefield, contains countless heavenly and mortal treasures, cultivation resources, cultivation technique, martial skill, etc. As long as you have money, it seems that you can buy everything there. And there is controlled by the law of Heavenly Dao, and there will be no fighting and snatch at all. But if you want to enter Heavenly Dao City, you must use the Heavenly Dao order to enter. I happen to have a Heavenly Dao order in my hand, but I can only stay in Heavenly Dao City for 1 day. As he said that, a black token appeared in Li Fei's hand. The token was surrounded by Dao rhyme. Just by looking at it, he knew that this token was extraordinary. How did you get it? Yifeng looked at the Heavenly Dao order in Li Fei's hand and asked curiously. I got it by chance in a ruin. Although I haven't been to Heavenly Dao City, I just heard some rumors about Heavenly Dao City, and I really want to take a look. I feel like if I go, I really waste this Heavenly Dao order, so I keep it all the time. Maybe one day it will save my life. After speaking, Li Fei put the Heavenly Dao order directly into Yifeng's hands, and continued, You give me the Epiphany Dan, which is like a chance for me, and I'm afraid I won't have the chance to pay it back in the future, so I will give this Heavenly Dao order to me. Brother Yi. I don't like taking other people's things for nothing. With that said, Yifeng shoved a handful of Epiphany Dans into Li Fei's hands. There were at least a dozen of them. Drop blood to recognize the Lord. As Yifeng's body was enveloped by the black light that burst out from the Heavenly Dao, when the black light gradually dissipated, Yifeng also disappeared in place. I knew Brother Yi was not a stingy person. Looking at the 13 Epiphany pills in his hand, Li Fei's plump body trembled wildly with excitement. He knew that Heavenly Dao was extremely precious, but to him, it was useless. So, he was just betting that Yifeng would not take his Heavenly Dao order for nothing. Now it seems that he won the bet, no matter how much benefit the Heavenly Dao order will bring to Yifeng, but these 13 Epiphany pills, but it is equivalent to his 13 trump cards, and he will make a steady profit. This is Heavenly Dao City. When Yifeng appeared in the teleportation formation of Heavenly Dao City, Yifeng was directly shocked when he saw Heavenly Dao City full of modern atmosphere. Aerodynamic environment. I'm wrong, what is this kid doing in Heavenly Dao City? How many spirit stones can he have on him? He wasted a Heavenly Dao order for nothing. I'm about to be teleported out in 10 minutes, this fool wasted a Heavenly Dao order, how good it is for me. Before Yifeng could marvel at the situation in Heavenly Dao City, a series of resentful voices rang out one after another. There's something wrong with this group of people. Looking at the 7 or 8 passers-by who glared at his own, Yifeng felt that these people were out of their minds, and after walking out of the teleportation array, he began to wander in Heavenly Dao City. Brother, take a car or not, start at 5 Heavenly Dao points. Walking on the edge of the spacious road, a very modern taxi stopped beside him, and a middle-aged man directly greeted him. At this moment, Yi Feng was in a trance, feeling as if he had returned to the earth again. "Brother, what's the heavenly Tao order?" If he didn't understand, he asked. Yi Feng looked at the driver and asked directly. "Depend on. Don't even know about heavenly Tao, newcomer, delaying daddy's time." Seeing the scolding driver, the older brother just kicked the accelerator and drove away. Yi Feng was completely stupid, so why don't you answer his question? A luxury hotel with dozens of floors. Martial arts hall. Supermarket. Medicine pill shop. Weapon shop. Formation shop. Residential area. Betting shop. After wandering around for a long time, Yi Feng didn't know how big the heavenly Tao city was, but the many shops, buildings, etc. he saw along the way made him feel extremely familiar, as if he had traveled back to the earth again. At this time, he stopped in front of a tall building with a plaque hanging on the door on the first floor, Heavenly Tao Bank. "Hello, what kind of business do you want to do?" Just after entering the lobby on the first floor, a middle-aged man in a formal suit came over and asked Yi Feng with a smile. "Is there any heavenly Tao here?" Yi Feng looked at the other party and asked directly. "A newcomer." When the middle-aged man heard this, he looked at Yi Feng with a look of surprise and asked a question. Seeing Yi Feng nodding, the middle-aged man explained with a smile. "In Heavenly Tao City, a top-quality spirit crystal can be exchanged for a little Heavenly Tao point, and in Heavenly Tao City, all the necessities of life, food, drink and entertainment are all available. Heavenly Tao points are required. So cheap." Hearing this, Yi Feng was also a little surprised. At the same time, he also discovered a situation, that is, in front of this middle-aged man in formal clothes, he was carrying an identity card. Name: Qianhu. Interface: Water Spirit World. Strength: Transcends Tribulation 7th Stage. Even though the information was simple, it still surprised Yi Feng. A dignified Transcends Tribulation Realm 7th Stage powerhouse actually worked here. Even in the face of such a small Qi realm, it was not normal. Seeing that Yi Feng's eyes had been staring at the identity card in front of him, Qianhu's face was also a little embarrassed, and he quickly explained, "You can get paid for working here, that is, Heavenly Tao points, and working hours are not counted in Heavenly. During the time of Tao's order. Isn't that time wasted here? Don't you use cultivation? Also, do you need spirit crystals that can be obtained in the Heavenly Tao battlefield?" Hearing the other party's explanation, Yi Feng was even more puzzled. After all, there are spirit crystals in the Heavenly Tao battlefield. He and Li Fei just picked up more than 200 spirit crystals, although they are low-quality spirit crystals. "Sorry, if you don't do business, it's not a customer, so I can't continue to be in charge of you." Where's the idiot? Those are top-quality spirit crystals. Even in the Heavenly Tao battlefield, it is extremely difficult to encounter top-quality spirit crystals, not to mention the cost here is unimaginable. If you don't work, where can you get enough Heavenly Tao points? Splurge. Looking at Yi Feng, who only has the peak of 9th stage, Qianhu's eyes flashed with disdain. If it weren't for his duty, if he caused dissatisfaction from customers, he would be punished by Heavenly Tao. How could he be so polite to Yi Feng? "There are 100 million top-quality spirit crystals here, help me handle them, and exchange them all for Heavenly Tao points." Yi Feng took out an interspatial ring and handed it directly to Qianhu. Hiss. When Qianhu saw the densely packed top-quality spirit crystals in the interspatial ring, he couldn't help taking a deep breath. The eyes that looked at Yi Feng again changed. "Wait a minute, I'll handle it for you right away." After speaking, Qianhu hurriedly ran towards the counter, lest he would be complained by Yi Feng if he ran too slowly. Star Soul Sect, Xingji Sect, Heavenly Tao Battlefield, Heavenly Tao City, this world is really fun. Looking back on his past these days, Yi Feng is becoming more and more interested in this fantasy world, and he is even thinking that after returning to the Star Soul Sect, he must find a way to get 2 more Heavenly Tao orders and bring them with him. Bring Luo Chenshui over to enjoy. "Young master, this is your Heavenly Tao card. When you need to pay anywhere, just swipe your Heavenly Tao card. If you have any questions about Heavenly Tao City, feel free to ask, and I will definitely give you the best answer." God of Wealth. The person in front of him is simply the God of Wealth. If this is served well, the other party will dig some out of his nails and give it to him, which will be enough for him to work for a long time. No, I won't disturb your work since you are so busy. After Yifeng looked at Qianhu and sneered, he took the Heavenly Dao card and left the Heavenly Dao Bank. He is not stupid. You looked down on me before, so what's the use of stalking me now? At this moment, a space crack suddenly appeared behind Yifeng, and with the appearance of a terrifying suction, he was sucked in with a dazed expression. Li Fei, how come it's only half a day's time? Finding himself reappearing in the second stage Heavenly Dao battlefield, Yifeng immediately scolded after reacting. What the hell, Daddy didn't spend a Heavenly Dao point. Looking at the Heavenly Dao card in his hand, Yifeng was so angry, at least let him have a meal in the hotel before teleporting it out. Remains. By the way, Li Fei said that the Heavenly Dao order was obtained by chance in the ruins of the Heavenly Dao battlefield. It seems that I have to work hard to find it. Thinking of this, Yifeng found a random direction and rushed out. Outside the Xingjizong, an old man wearing a red Taoist robe looked at the 9-star sword formation opened, and his eyes were full of surprise. Besides sect, there were other enemies besides him. He didn't understand why Xingjizong kept opening the Guardian formation. Not long after, the great ancestor Luo Tianxing came out of the sect protecting formation and saw the red-robed old man laughing. How come you old guy has time to come to me? Why? Hearing Luo Wuming's question, the red-robed old man sighed, not even knowing how to answer him for a while. 30 years. He accidentally got a Heavenly Dao order on the Heavenly Dao battlefield. After he went there, he worked in Heavenly Dao City for 30 years, and finally bought 2 defensive treasures that could withstand the Heavenly Dao Thunder Tribulation. Who would have thought that when he returned to the Heavenly Dao battlefield, he found that the outside world had only passed for a second, but the location that appeared was not the location where he used the Heavenly Dao order to go to Heavenly Dao City, which shocked him. After leaving the Heavenly Dao battlefield, he went directly to the sect of his old friend Luo Tianxing. Now that he heard the other party's question, he didn't know how to explain such an incredible thing for a while. Bai Gang, if you have something to say, you are not like you. Having said that, Luo Tianxing also walked towards sect with Bai Gang. Just as he was about to walk into the sect, Bai Gang seemed to have noticed something, and looked at Luo Tianxing suddenly and asked, your sect maintains the spirit crystal of the protector's array, but is it a top-quality spirit crystal? Seeing the shocked look on the other's face, Luo Tianxing couldn't help showing a smug smile and said, yes, it is indeed the top-quality spirit crystal that maintains the Guardian formation. You haven't seen the top-quality spirit crystal, right? I'll give you a few. Crazy. Are you crazy? How many years have we been in the Heavenly Dao battlefield? Have we ever encountered a top-quality spirit crystal? It is clear that low-quality spirit crystals are enough to support the Guardian formation. How can you use top-grade spirit crystals? Do you know the true value of top-grade spirit crystals? Looking at the furious old friend, Luo Tianxing was also frightened. Isn't he just using top-quality spirit crystals to maintain the Guardian formation? Is that so? Besides, Yifeng gave 100 million pieces of that stuff, and he didn't lack it at all. Look, these 2 small towers are extremely powerful defensive treasures. Each small tower can withstand a Heavenly Dao Thunder calamity, as long as I want. Now I can rely on these 2 small towers to resist 2 if I say Heavenly Dao Thunder Tribulation, then I will reach 7 Heavenly Dao Thunder Tribulations, and there are only 2 remaining from the Ascension Upper Realm. It's such a powerful treasure, and I only spent more than 3 million top-grade spirit crystals. As Bai Gang's voice fell, 2 small golden towers appeared in his hands. However, Luo Tianxing frowned slightly after hearing this, looking at the excited Bai Gang and said, Bai Gang, there is no treasure in this world that can resist the Heavenly Dao Thunder Tribulation. That's impossible. You know shit. Did you know that there is a special item in the Heavenly Dao battlefield called the Heavenly Dao Order? With the Heavenly Dao Order, you can enter a mysterious Heavenly Dao city. There, as long as you have the best spirit crystal, you are the Lord, even in the Transcends Tribulation realm. The powerhouses who are at the peak of the 9th stage and have survived 9 Heavenly Dao Thunder Tribulations must serve you in a humble manner. Stare. Hearing this, Luo Tianxing couldn't believe his own ears. He has also been in the Heavenly Dao battlefield for an unknown number of years, but he has never heard of the Heavenly Tao Order or Heavenly Tao City, and looking at the appearance of his old friend, it doesn't feel like he is joking with himself. In other words, in the Heavenly Tao City you mentioned, this top-quality spirit crystal is the common currency. Luo Tianxing was silent for a long time before finally speaking again. That's right, only top-quality spirit crystals are recognized there. If you don't have top-quality spirit crystals, you can stay and work there. I worked there for 30 years and earned more than 3 million top-quality spirit crystals. And, you know what I found after I came out? I have been in Heavenly Tao City for 30 years, and the outside world has only passed 1 second. Hiss. Hearing this, Luo Tianxing finally couldn't help taking a deep breath, and then thought of something, and quickly said, "Bai Gang, what are you thinking about?" I quickly put away all the top-quality spirit crystals. Let's hurry up, go to Heavenly Tao City. Cannot imagine. Luo Tianxing couldn't imagine that there was a place like Heavenly Tao City, and he couldn't imagine how many treasures beyond his imagination were in it. After a lot of searching, the Xingjizong will not be able to take off directly. Didn't you hear what I just said? If you want to enter Heavenly Tao City, you must have the Heavenly Tao Order. I got it by accident before. This thing is also an opportunity. Speaking of this, Bai Gang asked casually, by the way, how many top-quality spirit crystals do you have here, and where did you get them? Lost to death. If you had known this was the case in Heavenly Tao City, you would have come to me first with the Heavenly Tao Order. I still have more than 90 million top-quality spirit crystals here. Luo Tianxing said with a wry smile. What if you have the best spirit crystals now? It's not like you can't buy any treasures. What? However, after hearing this, Bai Gang opened his mouth wide in shock, his eyes full of disbelief. You don't know, my sect took in a disciple of the gods, and the shot was 100 million top-quality spirit crystals. He said that he has a lot of this stuff. Let me permanently open the Protector's Great Array and find him again when it's gone. Silly. Hearing this, Bai Gang was completely dumbfounded. Is there such a godly disciple? 100 million top-grade spirit crystals, those are top-grade spirit crystals. Even if he and Luo Tianxing have been on the Heavenly Tao battlefield for many years, they have never seen a single top-grade spirit crystal. You said that the godly disciple also went to the Heavenly Tao battlefield. I don't know if he has the chance to get the Heavenly Tao Order. If he gets the Heavenly Tao Order, I'm afraid he will really take off. The ghost knows how many top-quality spirit crystals he has, and I can't imagine how many he can bring back. After that, Bai Gang and Luo Tianxing even imagined the scene of Yi Feng entering Heavenly Tao City. On the other side, inside the second stage Heavenly Tao battlefield. Yi Feng searched for more than 3 hours without finding any relics, but demonic beasts encountered many, and in the end they killed him. Li Fei, don't let me meet you again, or I will never spare you. No ruins, no Heavenly Tao Orders. Thinking that I went to Heavenly Tao City to hang out for a long time, but the Heavenly Tao Point was forcibly teleported just after I recharged it, and I was very angry. Brother Yi, Miss Cao Cao is here. Just when Yi Feng was cursing and sulking, Li Fei's surprised voice came from not far away. What? It's only half a day, isn't that impossible? However, when Li Fei heard Yi Feng's complaint, he was stunned. Brother Yi, listen to my explanation, I really don't know why it's only half a day. When I found the ruins, when I went in, I found that there were corpses everywhere. Only one person who was seriously injured and dying was still alive, and what he was holding was the Heavenly Tao Order. Speaking of this, Li Fei paused, and continued with a somewhat embarrassed expression. Then I used some special means to get some news about Heavenly Tao City from his mouth, and then killed the other party directly. And took the Heavenly Tao Order. There are only 2 cases now, either that person cheated on me, or he thinks this Heavenly Tao Order can last for a day. And he knows a lot of information about Heavenly Tao City, and he probably has been there. I suspect it is the second type, that is, the duration of each Heavenly Tao Order is different, and the one he received before was just maintained for 1 day. So I think all Heavenly Tao Orders will last for a day. Listening to Li Fei's straightforward analysis, Yi Feng didn't have the time to think about it, but he felt that Li Fei should not have lied to him, otherwise he would not have been excited to run towards him immediately when he saw him, but would have just found a place to hide. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.